This is the Bennington Show, and we all want to just remind you that we love you very, very much. Even though your family doesn't care about you, we do. Right back, Bennington Show. It's the Bennington Show. It's kind of movie week here. Gail picked today's Plimsolls.
The Plimsolls, which was in Valley Girl. And they shared their first kiss to that song.
You don't even know our kind of music that we do. We're not like the Go-Go's. We're harder.
The best is the girl says, what is this noise? It's like, noise? This music has emotion. The gut rock or something gutless techno rock you listen to. It's like it sounds the same.
It's a pop song, just like you guys listen to in the Valley. We're over this mountain and we're in Hollywood and it's weird.
We go to normal parties, wear normal clothes. Guys don't seem that different.
Those guys were, the guys that they hung out with were kind of preppy looking, right?
Yeah, like they were the polo shirt.
Yeah, they were all polo shirts, boys. Nice blonde hair, comb nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you looked over in their gang, they would color their hair and then cut their chest hair to look like the Superman logo. Yeah. Just a triangle in the middle of his chest.
Was that to make him look younger? Was that the idea? Because
I think it was just...
It's clearly manicured chest hair.
No one's going to know the nutty choices that man makes. He makes choices that make sense to him, and that's how we get the genius. But that is Big Nick Cage.
But that song and like them playing those songs in that movie made me love that band. Like after that, I was like, well, I guess I'm a Plimsolls fan.
The only two people I ever knew that were solid Plimsolls fans were you and Flathead.
That's right.
You both loved them.
We actually talked Plimsolls when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Are you listening to the Plimsolls? Yes, I am.
So cool. So cool. Now, Dan told us that we have a happy birthday today, right?
Yes, we do.
Who's that?
Christine.
Oh.
Now, yesterday, Jay said it was her birthday. Now, was he lying or is Dan lying?
I would think Dan's lying. I think Jay would know better than Dan.
I don't know. Because Jay doesn't pay attention to things. Let's try to get a hold of Christine and, as they say online, birth.
Mm-hmm.
Birth.
Happy birth.
Birth. After a while, just get... Like, they don't have time to write happy birthday. Birth.
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 Always birth.
Man, I see a crazy email here from Don asking me to schedule stuff. I hope that's not for me. I hope that mistakenly came to me, so I'm not sitting here doing math for the weekend.
That should have been to me.
Here's what, and have you watched it yet, Gail? Because I know the Interrobang got a link.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm watching it tonight.
Here's the deal. We've got something to give out this weekend for wet, hot American summer. And that is the very definition of a cult film.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Not a lot of people watched it when it came out, but it grew and it grew and it grew. And now they're doing a prequel with Netflix 15 years later where all these guys are playing younger people. But Stanley told me that we've got something from the prize closet. And go ahead and explain to people exactly what you got.
This is a DVD copy of the Wet Hot American Summer, the film from 2001, signed by Janine Garofalo, Michael Showalter, Michael Ian Black, Molly Shannon, Elizabeth Banks, and Judah Freelander.
And the director?
Mr. David Wayne.
So that's really, really cool to give out.
That's huge.
Yeah, we'll be doing that this weekend and playing a bunch of the interviews that we've done with those guys. Everybody from that show went on and had an incredible career. Everybody from that movie.
Yeah, it's a hilarious cast. And you're right. All of them have great careers.
Birth.
Happy birth. It's your birth.
Do we got, okay, good. All right. So yesterday, Big J said it was her birthday. Today, Dan tells us it's her birthday. Now, in the realm of New York City, I don't think that there's anyone better at producing and promoting comedy than Christine. She's, for us, always been the number one person. And we either today or yesterday was her birthday, so we got her on the line. Oh, no, we don't have her on we do have her on the line. Christine.
I'm here.
How are you, darling? Happy birthday.
Good, thank you, Ron. You always make me blush.
Happy birthday.
Now,
thank you.
Was it today or yesterday?
It is today, but I was at the stand last night, so it hit midnight at the stand, so it just invited people from out there yesterday.
That's really
Perfect.
great.
Yeah, it was off on its 30, so I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, that's a big one.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big one. Now, you know what? I will tell you this. Now now you get your due. When
Yes.
that happens, people are like, oh, I'm ready to pay you money.
Yeah.
I'm ready to treat you respectfully. I don't know what it is about their 20s, but everyone hates everyone in their 20s
Yeah.
in a corporate world. But if you're 30, you're on your way. Now, yesterday, the show with Big J and Dan Soder, so brilliant. And I'd never thought of doing this before. First 25 minutes while you're doing the show, you play comedy much higher and much
Oh my God.
louder level.
It was awful. I was listening. I couldn't be at the show. I was at work, so I was listening to it, and I just kept thinking that my Sirius app was messing up. I
Yeah.
was like, what's going on? I had to get back to Wi-Fi, and then I texted Jay's manager, and he said, yeah, technical difficulties. And they just opened up with a laugh, because that is pretty hilarious that after a year, 21 minutes happened.
It was brilliant in its own weird way. And I text them, I just text them, fuck it. It'll make a good story one day.
I think
Just stay cool.
It's a good omen, I think.
It is a good omen.
Like if that was a play that was going up, you would say in your first night, you'd be like, oh, so now everything goes great from here on.
Yeah, from here on, it's all going to be fantastic.
I got mad for a minute because I knew exactly what song they were going to use to open the show. And when I heard that, not that song playing, I was like, did somebody override them creatively? I was all upset.
Well, everyone was trying to figure it. Here was the technical difficulty. They didn't use Chris. That should have been the thing, Stanley.
I had to. I was listening upstairs.
Yeah.
And then I heard a really, really long Comedy Central radio promo. Then dead air. Then a comedy bit. It was like something terrible's happened. And I came down here and was like, what happened?
And yet, you're acting like you came right down. It was like 20-some minutes. And then they didn't even know they weren't on the air.
So
Yeah.
they were
no
still
idea.
going.
Yeah. They're like, man, we're not getting
they were
any
just
calls.
rolling with it. I actually haven't even had the chance to listen to the thing in its entirety yet, but I saw Jay and Dan yesterday, and I couldn't be more proud of them. It's been such a long process.
Well, yeah, they
I'm so
wanted this
happy
for a
that they're
long,
doing
long
it.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm,
said it was, I remember it was really cool to see the bonfire from that studio because I just remember going in with Jay the Ron Fed studio and just being like, this is so cool. So
Yeah.
the fact that they were in there was really something special.
well, and also, just at Christmas, Jay had given up on his life, and we're all like, no, Jay, you are good. And ever since then, like a million great things have happened to him. He's like one of the hottest names right now. It's always a buzz. When I was up in Montreal, people were bringing up Jay's
It's
Tim.
amazing.
Yeah.
The coolest thing that I'm hearing is that Jay's been such a name within the comedy scene for a long time, especially New York. And that kind of went out to, L.A., figured him out. And now what I'm hearing, the thing that makes me the most happy is when somebody says they heard somebody completely outside of comedy talking about Jay. Like one of my coworkers works at another bar, and one of the bartenders there was talking about comic, and it happened to be Jay. The fact that it's reaching out to the masses,
Crossing over,
is really making me happy.
Yeah. Well, you've worked on that for a long time too, Christine. So,
Well, I'm excited.
All right, honey. Happy birthday, and we'll talk to you
Happy
soon.
birthday.
All right.
Happy birthday.
Have a great show, guys. Love you all. You're amazing.
All right. Bye. She's so sweet. She sincerely is she should be like a comedy scout for someone, man, because she's like, there's an open micer. He only has 3 minutes, but trust me, this guy is on his way, and it's always true. Everything that she's on, every comic she's ever sent us, it's phenomenal ear for comedy and puts together these cool shows, and you know, it really helps promote Jay and get his name out there. And she's right. The buzz on Jay in this past year has been amazing. And I remember at Christmas when this fucking Comedy Central thing was taking so long, he was so depressed. And everyone's like, everything's going to work out, dude. And here we are in this summer, and it's like a totally different career for him. He's you know, Comedy Central's, they're thinking about changing the name to Big J Central. He's got specials, he's shooting a TV show, he's got a radio show, he's doing the stuff with Anthony and the Skanks. There's pictures of his friends smoking weed. You know what I mean? Like, things are happening in a big, big way.
The real ass dude.
The real ass dude. It is his time.
It's
down here.
Down here. Up there, it's their time. Down here, it's his time.
Up there, it's Louis C.K.'s time. And Amy Schumer's. But down here, it's our time. Goonies, everybody. If you're wondering. Goonies.
Never say time.
Who picks tomorrow's music song?
I think it's Joe. Joe picks tomorrow's music.
Hump Day.
Joe, know this, that your song can be struck down in a second if it stinks.
Okay.
I don't want this to be as uncool as everything else in your life. It's great that you're a Lucas brother, but you've got to take this seriously. You got to kick a little arse.
I'm going to kick a little arse tomorrow morning on Wednesday.
Don't you hate it when someone just repeats back to you like it's their idea? Just uses...
And I'm going to kick arse.
I'm going to kick arse, because I always say that.
Is that okay, guys, if I kick arse tomorrow?
Conan is being sued because someone, apparently, from his writing staff, stole jokes off Twitter.
Oh, no, and they're cracking down on that
They
now.
are cracking down.
Yeah.
Now, when you first initially hear it, you're like, well, this Twitter guy is an asshole. But then when it gets laid out, these jokes are remarkably close, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much word for word is what the jokes were from this guy's Twitter account to when it shows up in his monologue.
Now, do you think that it is a direct steal, or do you think it's one of those things like when something's topical, a lot of times people reach for the same joke?
So everybody's running the Donald Trump jokes right now. And Donald Trump hair jokes, let's face it, you know, there's a lot of them out there. So let's go over these jokes. If we're on the jury.
Yes.
Okay. Joe, Gail, and I are going to be on the jury.
Okay. This is the tweet.
Okay.
A Delta flight this week took off from Cleveland to New York with just 2 passengers, and they fought over control of the armrest the entire flight.
Okay.
Right?
That was the tweet.
That was the tweet. This is the Conan joke.
What did Conan do?
On Monday, a Delta flight from Cleveland to New York took off with just 2 passengers. Yet somehow, they spent the whole flight fighting over the armrest.
Okay, so that's exact.
Yeah. Now, I tell you, I wouldn't have thought to go for an armrest joke there myself.
Although, I mean, airplane humor, you know, there is only so much.
Yeah, there's been around, but normally with airplane humor, you're going to go to Peanuts. They were still delayed, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
By the way, I would love to be on the flight that nobody else was on.
That sounds great.
I've been on one of those once.
I've been on really empty flights, but never 2 people.
Yeah, never that.
Like if it's 15 or 20 people, it feels wonderful.
Do whatever I want.
It almost feels like they should cancel like a show with bad attendance. Just like forget it. We're not going.
Here's the thing though. That plane has to be somewhere else anyway.
Right.
So, you know, like, that's why if there is a delay somewhere in Atlanta, it starts to fuck up everything in Chicago and Des Moines. You're like, how could this happen? We don't have bad fucking weather.
It's a network.
They're like, no, you don't understand. There's bad weather somewhere. There's always bad weather somewhere. You know, you get that crazy thing. Remember that woman we saw freaking out in the airport the other day? She was on her phone.
Oh, God.
And was just screaming. We all just started laughing.
What can you do,
For some
lady?
reason, they weren't letting her through based on whatever. And she's on the phone just, fuck this bitch, you know what I mean? Like the kind of shit that within seconds you're tackled for.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I've taken this too far.
I actually said to security, I go, she seems a little balmy, doesn't she? Like a little bit too balmy for us?
Balmy in here, if you know what I mean.
All right. So close joke. All right. Next.
All right. So this is the second one that was confirmed on Conan.
By the way, these are all up on the iBang. You get the tweet and then somebody put up the memes because somebody goes out and actually, I think, memes Conan's jokes, right?
Yeah.
So that makes this easier to stick. All right.
All right. This is the tweet. The Washington Monument is 10 inches shorter than previously thought. You know the winter's been cold when a monument suffers from shrinkage.
Okay.
Right, this is a Conan joke. Surveyors announced that the Washington Monument is 10 inches shorter than what's been recorded. Of course, the monument is blaming the shrinkage on the cold weather.
Not a lot of people do monument fucking jokes.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
Monument or shrinkage?
Yeah.
Those were the two that were confirmed on Conan. The rest are just they're still looking for the actual monologue jokes. But the other tweets that this guy says were stolen from him was Tom Brady said he wants to give his MVP truck to the man who won the game for the Patriots. So enjoy that truck, Pete Carroll.
And what did Conan do?
That hasn't been found. They haven't found that Conan joke as of yet.
Now I'm understanding that they have. I don't know. Whatever. But the fact is, now you normally think this is crazy, but when Fez and I first came to New York, certain things that we were doing on our show were showing up on another show, right?
Yeah.
A TV show. And we're like, are we fucking crazy? That's weird, right? But then later we heard, oh, they're big fans of yours. Now, another time too, Keith Overman, one of their writers said, hey, I'm sending a little shout out in the show today. And we looked over and we're like, oh, that's cool. Let's see what the shout out is. And they just lifted an entire fucking bit that we did when the girl died and we called her America's Rose. She was a big reality star at the time. She was a former playmate, and then she got very heavy and she was like a fucking
Anna Nicole Smith.
Yeah, Anna Nicole Smith. So we did a, goodbye to America's Rose and this whole parody. And then they just came back and just did the America's Rose. Is like we were supposed to say, oh, thanks for the homage. But no, like, hey, this is from your show or anything else. But all you can do is just keep being, funny. That's all.
Right.
I mean, I didn't think to myself, I'm going to fuck with somebody for doing this.
So.
But obviously Conan doesn't go out and look around Twitter.
Sure.
But it seems like somebody on his staff did. Now, but here's the other part. Let's say from the tweak, he is a gag writer. This guy, he sells material.
Yeah.
Now, if you do that, why are you putting it on your Twitter?
Right.
If I'm trying to sell jokes to a Jay Leno, why would I tweet it out first and then try to sell him jokes? Because I know guys, like when Jay did the Tonight Show, you could just fax him. It was faxing back then. And if they liked it, they'd send you $25 or whatever the hell they did,
Yeah, it seems like you're already giving your material out. I mean, I don't think people should be stealing jokes, but it also seems like Twitter is not the place to put material that you don't want stolen.
Yeah, if you say, well, not only that, but if I was the guy buying jokes, I wouldn't want the jokes to already be out there.
It'd have to be fresh. No matter how many people this guy is following him. Is Robert Kassenberg. That's the guy that is suing them.
Well, let's see how many followers he has. Let's see, Katz.
Oh, Kassenberg.
I don't even see his Twitter. He might have shut it down. I don't even see it. I just searched for it. I can't find it.
I gotta get you to go through these things before a show starts.
1,300 followers.
All right, so there's 1,300 people falling out every fucking night. That guy's got a lot of gags.
And he's a dog, which is pretty impressive.
But I told you before, I know this woman who just writes her jokes like that and just puts them out. She's got like 5,000 followers or something now. And people in comedy now know her. And I couldn't believe it because there is a connection between some of the people that we know and her. And I know her from someplace else.
Right.
And I'm like, what? And they're like, no, she's really funny. She writes a lot of great shit. And that's, she just, I don't know what her end goal is, but you can get a following of some amount on Twitter by writing one-liners.
But it seems like just like everything that as technology advances, it's like that happens first. And then it leaves you in the wake of being like, how do you make money off of that? Or how do we make that work and incorporate that into like the world?
Yeah, I don't know, but I guess you could just be known for it at first. And maybe somebody, there's been certain guys that they've set like gags of the Tonight Show for a lot of years. And then somebody will say to them, you know what? Why don't you just come out here and do 2 months with us and see what happens.
Right.
And then that could lead to a job writing for somebody else. And here's Miguel. What's up, buddy?
Hey, guys. Gail, I love you. You're the greatest thing that ever happened to this show since Pepper.
But
which is not saying a lot. But your defense of the joke stealing, it's kind of like saying, because you said, if you don't want your jokes taken, don't put them on Twitter. That's kind of like saying if you don't want your nude pictures out there, don't, put them on your phone, like this thing.
No, it would be like saying if you don't want your nude pictures out there, don't put them on Twitter or don't put them on Instagram.
Okay, well, I just wanted to clear that up because that's what it was sounding like, and I apologize.
But
you are still the queen.
But before you do that, don't leave. Get the point. She's saying if you put nude pictures out on Twitter and then you're shocked that people are, using them for something else,
right?
But like if these jokes were on his phone and then Conan's writers somehow got a hold of them, that would even be a bigger case right now. Here's the weird thing about like jokes and shit like that. It takes so much. You got to just keep grinding that you can't ever be precious about them anyway, Yeah,
I mean, there is probably a good lesson in there. I mean, especially because a lot of times you'll come up with something creative and someone will beat you to it.
Right.
It's not even that it's been stolen, and yet it still feels stolen in a way, right? Like you feel like, man, I had that idea.
Some people believe the zeitgeist. That somehow it's in this mystical zeitgeist that we're all able to take out of. And I tell you, I don't know.
Well, it especially makes sense when you're talking about things that are current, right? Like a current event happens and everybody's thinking of that event. And then creative people or comedic people now are going to think of that in an angle. And it makes a lot of sense that people will come from the same direction.
Well, this happened to me, and I did not sue. Mm-hmm. I didn't talk to a lawyer about it, but I had the original idea for the iPhone 6.
Really?
What?
Yeah, and that's when the iPhone 5 came out. I thought, you know what, we could even make this better. We could make it an iPhone 6.
You got to lawyer up. Get some sweet Apple money.
That's the thing, is they got lawyers too, Chris.
And you came up with that same name too.
Yeah,
6.
iPhone 6. Yeah.
God.
So let's make it a little bigger and harder to put in your pocket.
And that slow-mo cam.
Yeah.
You came up with that too.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? There's a picture out. Jeffrey put up his pictures on the iBang, and there's a picture of the boys wearing their iBang shirts, as well as a ton of other. Now you got to go to Comedy News, Chris. Comedy News. I got to talk to Dan. Do you think Dan would be able to run that computer back there at a better level?
I don't know. We've never used this guy over here.
I know. Does Opie use it on his show?
On that computer, yes.
Does the Bonfire use it?
No, not that I saw.
That's a mistake. Can't find it?
Not finding it.
There's something going on with that. But anyway, there's a very cute picture of the boys just sitting there in their iBang shirts, and they're all happy. There they are.
Aww. That is adorable. It looks like a class picture.
I know. They look like two twins that dress alike. One of the twins had to wear glasses.
This is definitely going in the yearbook, guys.
Which one's which? We don't know.
Now, is this before we found out Dan got hired to do the new Simpsons reboot?
Yeah, it's right before. But we both knew, and that's why we were so happy.
Here's Carl in Vermont.
Hey, Ron. Last May, I was in New York City seeing a bunch of stand-up comedy, and I actually saw two comedians do the exact same joke.
That's
on
fucking
back-to-back
hilarious.
nights.
What was it?
Basically, the joke, the crux of the joke is them taking out their cell phone on the train to try to take a picture of a weird or creepy person and, being really sneaky to try to make it look like they're just checking something on their phone, and then the punchline is the flash goes off.
Well, first of all, it's a fucking perfect joke. I like that. Taking creep shots and the flash goes off.
Yeah.
Did everyone say, hey, that joke just got done earlier?
No, I saw one comedian do it in Lower Manhattan, and another comedian did it at the Cellar.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant in the same show. You meant during the same trip.
No. It was two different comedians, but on back-to-back nights, I see the same joke done by two different people.
All right, let me, Dan, come on in here, because Dan is out every single night in, as he calls it, the clubs.
He's in the clubs.
And I want to see where New York is on this. So, Dan, you are out at shows every night. This guy claims he saw two guys. One at, I don't know,
Actually,
Gotham.
Ron, it was a guy and a girl.
Okay. What happens these days if someone is caught lifting jokes in New York City?
I mean, for like a joke like that, for something that's very generic, you see a lot of the same kinds of jokes. If someone really takes an issue with something that seems like overly similar, then I think you just work it out between the two comics.
Clubs don't care, though? Clubs?
No.
Let's suppose you went into a club.
Yeah.
And you are killing, but you're doing Colin Quinn's material. The club owner is not going to say, we don't want you back here, or is he just going to let it go?
I'm sure they would. I haven't heard about that thing happening.
I want you to try it. I want you to do it.
You have to do Colin's.
Do it tonight.
I want you to go out tonight. You're going to do 4 shows tonight, right? You do 4 shows every night?
Yeah, I'll do
one night is all
show.
Colin, right? Then the next one's all Louis C.K.
Got it.
Third show, this is going to be tricky, all Jackie Mason. You know? And
Damn.
when
Like
you
I'm
open
easy.
with, I'm 84 years old. So, and I hate Arabs. He's constantly in the news for hating
Danish
Arabs.
joke.
And I'm like, what old Jewish guy doesn't hate Arabs?
like
And
it-
people are like, how dare he say such
In his
things?
mid-80s.
Yeah.
But there's I've probably heard the same, like, autocorrect joke.
Oh, my
like
God.
20 times. All these jokes. You know what is the kind of joke that I would love to ban? Like, the kind of misdirect of, like, this guy said I was terrible, awful, I'm the worst person. I was like, thanks, Dad.
That is good. Like, that
pretty
was his
funny.
father who said, I thought it was some mean person, but it was your own family.
No, it's right
Yeah.
there. Felt flesh and blood.
Could you get a laugh with a joke if we just give you any punchline in the world? Like if I give
Give
you
me a joke, man.
well, no, I'm just going to give you the
Just the
last
punchline.
line.
Oh,
I'm going to give you the punchline.
Yeah.
And the punchline is going to be, how did I know there was still a dick in my ass? Now, you build the rest of it. You
Build
take it out there. All right, when you heard us
Record
do the guy who was accusing Conan people
Yeah.
of stealing his jokes, would that be too close for you? Is that too specific?
No, because I feel like those monologue jokes, every show gets the same subjects to write jokes about, and so every show's gonna, if you watch them any night, they're doing very similar jokes. It's
Right,
tough
but
for me
here's
to,
the thing. It's one thing if they steal from each other in their own world.
Right.
But to go out and steal from a guy
Right.
who's
But I don't
not
even know
getting
that.
paid.
I don't even know that it's stealing. I mean, they probably write hundreds of monologue jokes every day for this one guy to say I had 3 tweets that were similar.
So you
It
think
just
it was
seems-
not lifted? You think it?
No,
It was
it's
not
just
intentionally lifted.
they all write the same 12 headlines and write a dozen jokes about each of them every day. So
Sounds like a terrible life, doesn't it?
it really does.
Yeah. Just sitting at a fucking computer. Trump. How do I tie this in with Viagra somehow?
You just got to merge the two, whatever's topical.
How do
the two
I do
things.
that? Because Louis C.K. was telling me in the Unmasked, he had laid out how they write jokes, and it is like you take Viagra and you take somebody in the news, and
Right.
Right.
boom, you just keep that, and people are laughing a lot at those jokes because they're like, I recognize this. I
Right.
know
It's
these things that you're talking
clear
about.
formula. It's
Yeah.
like you do the setup and then, or as Blank calls it, like that. And if you look at the text of all the jokes,
Yeah.
it'd be tough for me to say like, oh, that's definitely a Kimmel joke, or that's a real Conan joke, unless you put in parentheses like he does the string dance afterwards. Then it'd be like, okay, Conan.
We
probably
could actually do that
did string thing.
as like a game where you have to guess which show. Like, imagine would Conan say it or Kimmel, or
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that would be really tricky. Do you
it would
think,
be tough.
Do you think that they have very specific voices, or do you think, like he said, that it's
Well, they might do it in their specific voices, but the joke is
material.
written as generically as possible.
Right.
which is why you can get people who write material that you could buy.
Right.
There's like
exactly, 'cause
anybody you
it's
could
just the same topical kind of
You know what?
formula.
This is why I thought that was such a good idea. I just stole it from us. We did play this before. I got to find out where it is.
You
But-
should sue.
Yeah, we should sue ourselves. I got to find out where it is, but we'll play that joke with you. Even though this will be dated, it'll probably be easier because we know that you hadn't seen it on TV.
Yeah.
Colin was on the Larry Wilmore show last night. It seemed like he was the only one on the panel who didn't want to close in the amount of material comedians could do. It seems like people are getting very, very tight with it. All right, Chris, the link is coming to you.
Okay.
So you read it to us, and we're going to have to guess Leno, Letterman, Kimmel, Fallon, Ferguson, or O'Brien. This is funny. Look how many guys are gone already from the
Right.
I can rule
the
out a
game when we
couple
played.
of
Leno, Letterman, Kimmel, Fallon, Ferguson, or O'Brien. So this is, I guess, when Fallon was doing late night.
Earlier this week, hackers from Syria targeted President Obama's Twitter and Facebook accounts, which got even weirder when Obama hired them to fix the Obamacare website.
Oh, geez. First of all, I don't even know if that's a joke. Did you skip any of the jokes, or did you just go right in?
I just jumped right in.
Okay.
I jumped to the second one.
Okay, smart. I'm going to guess Leno on that.
My guess is Kimmel.
I'm going to say Fallon.
Dan is correct.
Whoa.
Jesus, he's good.
Fallon loves tech stuff.
Oh, I want him to go first next time. Okay. I want him to go first, so in case I want to lift some of his answers. I didn't know they like the tech stuff so much.
He's all about the web.
Obama is also being criticized for the Obamacare website. You know what's wrong with that website? A lot of the people trying to sign up for Obamacare are elderly. So you've already lost them at website.
Okay.
That's good. That's a good joke. It's an elderly joke.
Good.
They're bad. They're bad with technology.
I think I
those people.
got my guess on this.
Should I go first?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Fallon because he loves tech stuff.
He does love that. That is true. I just heard that a while ago. It's like the second time I've heard this.
I'm going to go Ferguson. I'm going Ferguson on that one.
I'm going to go Ferguson too. I think the way it sounded like, do you know who they are before?
No, I do not.
Because I thought you were doing a Scottish thing. So Ferguson.
I might have been doing it subconsciously because it's Ferguson.
Oh!
Nice.
Three-way
Nice.
tie.
Does that mean that we can take something from Dan?
Yes.
How does this game work anyway, Chris?
Take your wallet out, Dan. All right.
He's throwing around all week. He was throwing around toonies like they were loonies.
You lifted that.
What are you doing, Dan? How many times did he try that joke and fail?
Constantly.
And I really was the only person who laughed when he said
Yes.
Yes.
I like.
We were like this.
I hated it. Drove me fucking crazy.
It's too noisy here. Now you're making jokes. All right. How many more questions you got, Chris?
There's 3 more questions.
Oh, shit.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Not much.
Final answer.
All right, hold on.
You're a bad game show host.
Finally, some good news for the President Obama.
Well, try to deliver it like it's a joke.
Yeah. But
You're
don't
so
do an
droned.
impression.
Finally, some good news for President Obama. It's about time he had some good news. Despite all the website problems, the approval rating for Obamacare has gone up. Unfortunately, I can't give the exact number because it's listed on the Obamacare website.
I think I'm going to go first this time. I think the delivery is strictly Conan. Strictly Conan.
That's my guess, but because we have so few, I'm going to go Kimmel because I'm trying to win this game.
Wow. Fucking suddenly got aggressive. It was all fun until just now.
I'm going to say, I thought he was doing like a Leno thing. I don't know how old this joke is.
Yeah,
It's
well,
going to be an old joke.
apparently Obamacare was a big deal when it happened.
Really?
I'm going to go Leno.
It is Conan O'Brien.
Oh!
I should have stayed.
Yeah, you could have stayed. We'd have been tied twins.
On top of all the World Series related chaos in Boston, President Obama went to Boston today to do Boston traffic, what his healthcare website did to traffic on the web.
Jesus Christ, enough with the fucking stupid thing.
They're all Obamacare.
Oh, it's back to Dan going first.
All right, I'm going to go Kimmel.
I'm going Leno.
This is stuff. I guess I got to see who we've already used.
We've used Conan, Ferguson. Fallon.
So only Kimmel and who left?
Leno. Letterman.
I'm just going to guess and say Kimmel.
It's Conan.
That's Conan again?
That's Conan.
You just told us that we only use them once.
He makes a lot of jokes, Conan.
Excuse me. It was Kimmel.
All right, I'm not even fucking playing this game. You're a nightmare at the computer.
I'm bad today.
You're a nightmare at the computer.
We got one more.
No, we're not fucking playing
I
it.
won't fuck it up.
No, it's dumb. There's only one name left anyway.
Survey says Conan. Oh, wait. The survey doesn't say that.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we bring that other family back? You did win after all. So we're going to take their money. That remember when they were happy for getting the money? We're going to give that money to you.
Now you're happy.
We served over 50 mints and asked them this question. What's in a man's pants and has two balls dangling from it? What's your answer?
I'm going to go with the dilly whacker.
Dilly whacker! She went right for it! Oh, God, I don't even know if I want to do this show anymore. Someone should say to him, there's nothing left to say, okay? You've backed me in a corner where I had to say penis.
Genitals.
And then you are angry when I did. You're saying I ruined your show.
The only thing the survey could possibly say.
What's something long and hard that fits into a woman's vagina box? Don't you do it. Don't you say it, Grandma.
You're forcing me.
9 million people watched that fucking show. It was the #1 show of the week.
That's crazy. I can't believe that it's so popular.
It is insanely popular.
It's 9 million people watching anything else?
And better, not only is that popular, everything that man does is incredibly popular.
You can't lose.
He's a daytime show. He's got a radio show. He puts out movies and books.
His books are like, if you go into Barnes & Noble, they put that like right when you go in.
Yes,
they're
they're
like
the only
massive
books.
bestsellers. They're the only books they have.
Mm-hmm. That's what men do.
Tell it like it is.
Think like mints. Well, God bless him for it. Remember when the old guy from that show came in and he was like, what's his name? The big
Dawson?
Guy? Yeah, Dawson came in here, Chris.
Richard Dawson in here?
Remember that day me and Richard Dawson sat down and talked for a while?
I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, this was
what
back.
year was this?
It was 1967. It was the summer of love. I had just.
Lucille Ball had just left.
Oh my God. Oh my God, this show. The Khloe Kardashian cover suit is a big story on the iBank today. For some reason, she doesn't get the same amount of sex symbol love. But this looks like she's ready to break out and go for it. Because I remember when one day we were in here and all the Kardashian girls came in together, and her ass was every bit as big as her sister's, Khloe's.
Yes.
And we all just went, wait, how come that ass isn't just as famous?
And Courtney gets this like she's the petite one, and she has a bubble butt too. It's just in comparison to two giant butts.
I didn't know that she because she plays it all down, right?
Yes, well, ish. I mean, she still has the signature Kardashian talk, but like her sex symbol stuff, she's normally like, I'm the mom.
Yeah, I'm the mom.
She's
and
like the
my
Kardashian
husband's a
next door.
drug addict, alcoholic.
Kim's crazy. I'm not like Kim. I'm a mother.
Is that the only picture?
Yeah, that's the main picture of her.
It's a great one.
Well, it's amazing.
Giant ass.
But if you look up like Kourtney Kardashian's butt,
Yeah,
I'm
let's
telling
look it
you,
up. What are we waiting for?
you'll be pleased.
But Chloe's got to find a new thing because she's never going to be able to compete with Kim in the ass.
But I think her butt is actually bigger. It's just that the ratio. Like,
I know, but you're in the
Okay.
shadow of a giant ass.
Look at that on
That's-
the right there.
That was Kim.
That was Kim, yeah.
They had the wrong ass.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
That's her ass.
that's a round ass. I never once noticed that.
Yeah. She's living in their butt shadow.
Now, what about Caitlyn? What's her ass like? Is she going to get some butt
Let me look it up.
stuff done? Has she
Look
been
that
out in
up.
bikini yet?
Let me look that up.
Maybe she could take what's left over of her penis and wrap it around her ass. Do they have any leftover parts? They do something like that?
Someone.
That's extra.
That's a visual joke that he doesn't explain. It's just for the people in the room.
So when photos,
I don't want you to explain, guys. Please, that's plenty.
Just Google something. And you'll
Yeah,
find
Google
it.
something. You'll get it.
And it'll be funny once
You'll
you
laugh
find
like
it.
us. Yeah, I couldn't say enough about Chloe's ass. Is there any way to make Jen Seltzer somehow part of that family? Like they could adopt her?
Mm-hmm.
Or if I was Caitlyn Jenner, and sometimes I feel like I'm close, just I've had it. I would say I'm going to bring that Jen Seltzer on my show. Now, this is amazing news. Jen Seltzer today just got hired by the Arizona Cardinals to be a coach. She's going to
what's she coaching?
football. That's why
Offensive coordinator? What's she?
I don't know
I
what
think she's like a intern coach, something like that.
an intern coach.
I think that's what her title is. I think
There's no
it's
such
I
thing
think
as
it was.
intern coach.
I know, but there was no such thing as a female coach either. But she's breaking down
First of all,
barrier
you're not
after
a
barrier.
female coach. You're a coach. You're giving it the thing.
Hi, everyone. I'm the new female coach.
We lost our female coach, so we're looking for another one.
It wasn't even a job. It's something with intern.
Rob in the Hamptons. Hey, Rob.
Delivery of Conan's lines kind of reminds me of in Sling Blade, where Billy Bob Thornton completely screwed the joke up about the two guys pissing off the bridge.
Actually, he reminds me more of the fucking child molester rapist who just kept telling Conan stuff. Yeah, I got right up on top of her, and that's the way I like it, see?
That is you.
No, it's not.
What's the headline there?
Jen Welter.
Oh, Jen Welter!
I can see how you got confused.
Yes, all right. So I even had to set up the fact of no, you're wrong. I had to even get that to be set up. So she is going to be a coach in the NFL. I don't see why it even took so long. I mean, do you know how many coaches are on most of these staffs? Just tons. There's a lot of that don't even go near the field. They're just cutting tape up and looking at other teams and up in the fucking stands.
I'd love to get invited to a game someday, but I've got a lot of work to do.
Well, those guys, I'm not even kidding you when I tell you, when you coach for an NFL team, you say goodbye to your family like you were going out to sea. They work like 120, 140 hours a week. And then they lose because the highest paid quarterback in the league couldn't throw a 3-yard pass to end the fucking Super Bowl. I don't know how that God-loving guy skates. The fact that he didn't get the fucking ball down. Everyone's blaming the coach. Why would you ask him to throw a pass? I don't know. Because he's a pro fucking quarterback?
It's his job.
Yeah. Seattle. We're only about 6 weeks away, I think, from preseason starts very, very soon, but first game is only like 6-7 weeks away.
Are we going to do a league?
No, I decided not to. I want us to enjoy ourselves and not hate each other. I saw the way everybody was getting along in Montreal.
Yeah,
and
they were close.
Yeah, very, very close. They dressed the same, these guys.
That was great.
Did Don ask me, did he ask you, how come you're not wearing the serious shirts?
He didn't ask.
Yeah, he asked me, and I said, you should have seen the way the shirt that Joe was given fit him. It was a tent down to his knees. And then Chris's was see-through with his nipples sticking out.
And I was like, this is
It
ridiculous.
was hot.
You didn't. You said, does this look good? And then you tied it off over your belly.
I said, are your nipples bleeding?
Oh, Jesus.
Just pull the bottom of the shirt through the top. It's nice and cool.
Everyone loves our women's soccer team, our USA soccer team
They
coach.
do.
Mm-hmm.
And they all hate our men's coach, the German.
Yes.
Klinsmann.
He's very cold. God damn it, Klinsmann.
I am working against the United States as a spy.
What was the one before him? Bradley?
Bradley. Yeah.
Both very cold, though. They had a
They're
coldness.
all coaches are cold. They're all awful people. It's like, you're like, if you're like working at HR, you're like, you have an awful personality. Would you consider becoming a coach? Because you remind me of Belichick. You're so fucking psychotic that you could be the next Belichick.
That's what even the coaches that are like players coaches that everyone likes, eventually they get fired and they're like, all right, we need a serious coach. Not
Yeah,
one who's gonna
whatever
be friends
happens.
with the players. Yeah.
I always laugh when like everyone's acting like as soon as a coach gets fired from someone, like 10 teams want him, and you're like, but the other team fucking hated him.
They just
Yeah.
threw him on a
We'll
crib.
take them.
We'll take him. We want him to come here and lose for a while. But here's the thing about football: if you don't win the Super Bowl, you suck.
Right.
Yeah.
And your fucking fans hate you. And there's nothing worse than making it to the playoffs and then being knocked out.
Oh, yeah.
It's terrible.
Fans feel that way.
Yes.
They're like, you've put me through the torture of extending this season.
Right.
Building me up.
Why? Why did we even bother? Why win games just to come here and lose?
So if you
I'm jumping out of this train.
Don't.
It's the only thing left to do because of this team of strangers.
If you coach college football, all you have to do is like win a bowl game. You don't need to win the whole thing, and you can stay there for 20 years.
Well, you're saying that at certain schools. If you're at Alabama,
right.
if you're at Texas,
Florida
any of the
or
Florida
something, yeah.
schools, there are about 10 teams that set out to win. But, if you find yourself coaching Illinois, South Carolina, whatever,
So you're just like,
Boston
hey,
College.
We only lost 4 games. Like, that's great.
Now, basketball, you probably have to be Final Four to feel safe about yourself. You've got to be considered a Final Four team. Now, you coach baseball. No one knows. Even if you win the championship, no one knows.
I think any of us could coach a college baseball team if we just sent in an application.
The only reason to coach a college baseball team is because you want to spend the entire day with white kids. Because college baseball has become the whitest sport I've ever fucking seen. They don't even have Hispanics.
If you like young white people.
Yeah. The college.
Have the job for you.
Yeah. And this is a new weird thing. They've all become attractive. They didn't used to be attractive.
Bunch of studs
Now,
out there.
now they look like Steve Garvey had many children. They look the way the old college swim team would look. It's now become baseball.
They're so fit.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody thinks that pro baseball players are attractive.
There's like a handful, right, that get the sex symbol status, but I don't think.
I think it was just Jeter.
Really?
I think
yeah,
everything
well,
stopped
maybe
at
that's
Jeter.
true. Because maybe that was more in the 90s. Like, I feel like maybe in the 90s there were like.
Some hot ones.
Yeah, like.
Well, you had Jeter then when he was young. You had Kruk. Everybody always thought that he
yeah.
was gorgeous. But yeah, Jeter's probably the only one who crossed over were like regular people. But there's some young studs
Right.
in that league now. But they're not known on a national level.
Jeter was the last one that was doing like 45 commercials and would be on the sides of buses and stuff.
Yeah. But you live in New York, right?
Yeah.
So Jeter isn't playing to the kids in Iowa and out west. I mean, he's certainly known because he won the things, but those 45 commercials, most of them were local commercials.
Right.
Like that thing that he did for Al's Pizza. I mean, it was a good spot, but it wasn't playing outside this area. There's nothing funnier to me than a really poorly put together local commercial.
They're amazing.
I'll fucking watch them forever.
They're just the best. There's ones running for a law firm here in New York, and it's just so weird.
That Jersey girl is doing it or something?
Yeah, that's it. And it's just hysterical to watch her go into the
and she's
pitch.
standing like the green screen is New York City. We will fight for you. I'm telling you right now, I don't sleep. I'll gouge their eyes out to be able to give you $150.
Just so goddamn funny.
I'll get your kids back for you. Believe me. We'll take them off that whore and within 3 days. Or you owe me nothing.
The more obscure the holiday, the better the bad local ad is going to be. You got to come here for the Arbor Day sale. Only here.
I like
That was a day.
there's a couple any local restaurants because it's really difficult to shoot food. You know what I mean? Like when you see somebody like do a McDonald's commercial, that director makes a lot of money to make that McDonald's food look good on TV. So when it's some local thing and they're just showing like a bucket of fucking meatballs and it's all gray looking and it's panning by. I know this doesn't look edible, but believe me, we've been here for over 17 years. There's another place that's like a health spa in North Jersey that you're supposed to go away for the weekend. And it looks like I would never get in that pool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This indoor pool. And it's all like Egyptian design to it. But it's like in Paramus.
Just random people walking through the frame.
There's a great Brooklyn one of like a wedding venue that has everything. Like the food looks horrifying.
Right.
The place looks tacky. And they're just like, we make your dreams come true.
Yeah. Be here like you were the Shah of Iran. Because they do. They have this, they have these looks about them. You're like, I guess someone would find that classy, but I don't know.
I didn't have a place to have a wedding until I saw this commercial. This is perfect for me.
Grand Prospect Hall. We make your dreams come true.
Oh, there's a piece up on the iBank called The Best Illegal Immigration You Will Ever See. It's a video up. And it is a fashion shoot somewhere around Miami Beach. And you just got to watch this. So here she is. She's stunning.
Beautiful.
She's beautiful. Now there's the boat in the background coming up behind her. And a bunch of Haitians run out of the boat and just start haul-assing. If you notice, no one is left in the boat. They just
Oh my God.
chuck the boat as they go running across Miami Beach.
And they're running, just scattering
Yes,
too.
yeah.
We don't run together.
I'll never see you again. Good luck, dude.
Good luck.
Yeah. You
Enjoy
don't wanna-
America.
You don't want to be
different
one of
directions.
18 Haitians running down the street. That thing is so hilarious.
That's amazing.
Her hair is blowing in the wind. Ah, this beautiful gold lame wrap.
Yeah.
Wait, what's going on back there?
And they are just hauling ass.
I love the scatter. Bye, guys.
If you're a lifeguard on that beach, I guess you can't know if you see someone swimming. If that's just a Hispanic person, just like, oh, they'll be safe. I don't have to save them. They're gonna be sprinting past me in a minute.
At least they came over in a nice boat. When I used to live in Florida, look, if you notice the very last shot, you see a helicopter. You see a helicopter coming down at the very last shot.
Wait a second.
But the
I hope one of them would come back for the boat.
It's a nice boat.
no, that goes in. It'll be used in some kind of a fucking Don Johnson undercover thing soon.
We got this boat real cheap.
Dan in Florida.
Yeah, buddies, how's it going?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, I watch a lot of Rays baseball, and you might want to punch up a guy named Kevin Kiermaier. If he knocked on my door and like came for my wife, there'd be nothing that I could physically do. I would just allow her to go with him, let him have her way, his way with her, and just there'd be nothing I could do. This guy, he looks like a fucking stud, and there's a ton of dudes on the team like that. I really think that my wife and her mother watch baseball with me just to look fucking at the guys, because I can hear her saying, God, look at him, look at those eyes. Oh my God, I'd fucking eat him up. I mean, it's ridiculous. So I really think that Major League Baseball is marketing. They're like looking for like attractive studs
Dan.
to put them on TV. And yeah, go ahead.
Dan, is your wife just you in a wig? Is that... You just put a wig on. He's so beautiful. Stop it, honey. No, I really like him.
I'm not gay. I swear to God, I'm really but
I'm looking at this guy. I'm not blown away. Gail, is he incredibly attractive?
I see how people would find him attractive. Yeah, he's got the lantern jaw. He's got the ice blue eyes.
He looks to me like a fella.
He's even got a nickname. He's called the Outlaw.
Okay.
Oh, this is getting weird.
All right, that's all I got.
Yeah, that's plenty.
that's
Plenty, buddy. That's plenty. Thanks for the admission.
It's just weird reason. Like, look, if he wanted to fuck her, there'd be nothing I could do. He's too hot. Like,
He's
not
just
physically. There'd be
too
nothing I could do.
hot.
He's just too attractive.
People forget that the cuckold is always the man's idea.
Right.
No one ever like,
Yes.
oh, he's in a bad relationship and she's fucking around. Yeah. He's really upset by it. Some guys just want to sit in the corner in a diaper. There's no fucking stopping them. They'll figure out a way for it to happen.
After he calls him the Outlaw, his maniacal laughter.
Yes.
I love him. I love him so.
He already gave him a nickname himself.
That's what I call him.
Everyone calls him the Outlaw, I bet.
around my house.
Once word gets out after this phone call.
We've got a big star stopping in here from SNL, Mr. J. Pharoah. He's got a new special coming out on Showtime. Can I Be Me? That premieres Saturday, August 1st. Is that this week or next?
That's this week.
Wow, we're already in August?
Yep.
Saturday is August?
Yeah, Saturday's August.
Gotta fucking plan a vacation. Go to show.com for more information. But the special is called Can I Be Made Now? I remember literally the first time I saw Jay come up on TV, because when it comes to impressions, I'm always a big fan of guys that I've never, doing stuff that I've never seen before. So let's bring him to Jay Pharoah.
My breast just rejected.
Good to see you, Jay Pharoah, in studio.
Yeah.
This is your first special, huh, man?
Yes, it is. Very proud of it. Been working on it for a minute, and I shot it in November. So, yeah, that was dope.
No, you never stopped doing your stand up the entire time you're on SNL, right? You're always
I never did, because I mean I started out doing stand up, so I just continued it on, and I've garnered a bigger fan base, which is really amazing. So
yeah, it is. That is the craziest thing about that, right? Is like people see that show, and I think it still has the same impact that it's ever had.
Yep.
But for a guy like you breaking out, you look back and saw the people who broke out doing that show.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, so you always know that that's on the table.
Yes. You got your Dana Carveys and your Mike Myers and your John Lovitz and your Phil Hartmans and your Will Ferrells and your Tina Feys and your Amy Poehler's, and I'm just naming everybody that's breaking.
No, it's amazing though, right?
Yeah, Eddie Murphy, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's just, your Chevy Chases, your John Belushi's, so I just, I'm just happy to be part of that family of performers, man. And, hopefully, I hope, who knows what could happen tomorrow, man. I could catch a stray one tomorrow by somebody.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
In my life. But I feel like I've done some damage. I want to do more damage though.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, this is, I just finished my 5th season, and I feel like now I'm just going to have like even more fun now.
Right.
And I feel like I'm getting really comfortable with even my own voice. I know I do voices and impressions, but I feel like I'm getting comfortable in myself to say certain things and, write about certain things. So I just want to do it. It'd be fun.
It always comes down to comfortability too, right?
Definitely.
Whether you're on stage or in front of the camera, if you're in that mic, immediately, we were just talking about this the other day, that when people go up and they do open mics, right away they're doing a comedian instead of themselves, instead of the guy who made people laugh in the cafeteria or on the street corner. They just start to go up and they can't help it. You start to Seinfeld or Letterman, and it's somebody that you're doing.
Because anyone who loves comedy, is gonna, if you're doing stand up, it's because you love comedy. So you probably have a couple idols in your mind.
Yeah.
It's very hard not to emulate.
And then you know what you've watched their crafts of work, and you're like, that works. If they say it like this, that works. That works. That works.
Right.
So it's all of that. Yeah. So I definitely know what you mean, man. And it does take a little bit of time for you to just get your own swag and stuff. Be comfortable. Now, some people are comfortable immediately.
Yeah. Well, Murphy, you brought up Murphy.
Definitely.
He was how old? 19 or something?
He was 19 when he got the show.
And he walked up like he had been there. He was a guy that almost made you believe in past lives, right? Because he was so weirdly mature and confident at a young age. And they just handed it to him. You know what I mean? They were like, all right, then you take the show and run with it. No one else knows what they're doing. Oh, and by the way, here are these movies. Run with it. He was so young and such a massive star.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just it's just about like you said, it's about the swagger, the attitude, and just having that confidence and just going and being able to pull that off.
But
all about.
You also have like the natural blessing of being able to do people, and I never saw anyone else do Denzel before you. So really, for me, that's always the impressive thing of somebody that can get to the impression first, because most people, I think, do an impression of the first guy who got the voice down.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then it becomes like when you brought up like Dana Carvey, everybody started doing Bush, like, not gonna die.
Right.
Like, that would be the starting point
Right.
for everybody else.
But it's someone has to unlock it, and
Yeah.
then everyone else gets it. But Denzel was one of those, when I saw you do Denzel the first time, I was in shock. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen somebody do Denzel.
I didn't
And
think
then
it could be done.
It was eerie how well you did it.
Yeah. There's one other guy, and I met him that really does him. His name was Reggie Reg. He can do him very well. But like, I watched Training Day for like hours. I would play that over and over and over again. All right, Jake, you with the big boys now, huh? That's what it is. All right. Yeah. Oh shit, you got crack in a gun. You're federally fucked now, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jimmy crack corn, nigga. Like,
but is there like one little piece of it that you get first? Is there?
It's like the smile. For me, it's like the facial tics.
Yeah.
For some folks, and like Denzel, it was like a lot of the teeth and the overbite.
Yeah.
It's just that. It's that tight lip that he does. It's the tight lip, and then all of a sudden it's just the switch. Huh?
That's scary, man.
Yeah, it's kind of like this, and then that's what he does, huh? That's what you want, Jake. That's what you're doing. That's what you smoke. You ain't tasted, huh? You ain't tasted. Famos, dog, dust, PCP. That's what you had.
Now, I talked to the Hughes brothers before, and they said that he turns it on and off. Like they said he can walk through Times Square with a hat on, nobody stops him, decide he wants to be recognized, and people start to run at him.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He turns on the star thing.
Yeah. Denzel is so smooth, man. He can make Old MacDonald sound dope. You're like, Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm, there was some chickens. There was a chicken and a cow and a roof here and a little dog there and a bark here and a bark right there. That's where it was. You're just like, oh man, he just made that cool. Like, I never thought nursery rhymes were dope, not until he said it.
Yeah.
'Cause rappers rap all the time and they use nursery rhymes. You're like, oh, that sucks. But once Denzel does it, it's dope. It's like 3 blind mice. See how they run. 3 blind mice. That's right, they can't see. They're blind. That was dope, Denzel. Denzel, let's can we hear you do an order? Where you want me to go? I want you to go to Burger King or something. You want me to go to Burger King? Yeah, I want you to go to Burger King. All right, okay. All right. So those chicken fingers look pretty good. The chicken fingers, it looks like a chicken had sex with a fry, and all of a sudden, it was chicken fries. Huh? That's what it is. I'm hungry, huh? I'm on what? I'm not on a diet. I don't need to diet. That's why I'm here. I have my Calorie King counter, huh? So I know how much I need to run if I eat the chicken fries. Huh? Okay, all right, give me the chicken. Give me the damn chicken fries and stop playing around with me. Talking about dieting. I don't need a diet. I'm good. I'm sexy, huh? I make everything sexy, huh? I can drool right now. If I was a dog, that would be a sexy dog.
Jake Farrell's in studio with us. Can I Be Me?
Can I Be Me?
Saturday, August 1st, 10 p.m. on Showtime. The title comes from...
Title just comes from... in the special, a lot of people only know me for doing voices, so of course you need your attention getter, to start it, to get people talking. So Can I Be Me is like, it's a question and it's a statement. You know what I mean? So it's like, can I be me? If you watch it, can I be myself? And then it's, after you see it, it's like, okay, can I be me now? Can I please be me? Like, because it's like, I got my point of view in there along with the voices and impressions just to create. I'm so proud of it, man. Like, really. And I think that's the most important thing. As long as if you feel like you're proud of the body of work that you put together, that will translate. You know what I mean? And then, it ain't no goddamn, ain't no, I'm Nick Cannon. I'm gonna try to shoot a special now. And shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is real. Like, I took my time. It's like I took my time and I actually have real points of view. It's not other people's. This is what I think. So yeah, we all we all saw it. I'm not trying to show it though. Okay, whatever. Listen, oh my God. Okay, we're not gonna talk about that. Listen, yes we are. That Showtime oh my gosh, damn. I was like, come on, Nick. He's a good guy, though. He's such a good man. Such a good guy, Nick. Nick, you're such a good guy, Nick. Okay. But yeah, I feel like it's a good crafted piece of work, man. I really do.
Well, I think that the thing that you were in with Saturday Night Live too is, I guess they throw characters or voices at you that just pop up in the news that you're not. It's something that you might not have gone after on your own.
Definitely.
But they're like, we need you to do this guy.
Definitely. That will happen all the time. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be playing Hulk Hogan this year. I mean, I would love to.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? When I see Hulk Hogan's interviews, because he says the word brother a lot.
Yeah.
So in my mind, instead of the word brother, in Jay Pharoah's mind, inserts the N-word. Right. So, all right.
That's where he's been the whole time, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like he wanted to say it, but he never. You know what, Nick? I mean, brother. You think you got what it takes to take on Hollywood Hogan? Won't you climb in the ring, Nick, brother? That's what it sounds like to me. Like, so, yeah, I always I'm like, well, he says brother. He says brother kind of aggressively.
Yeah, he does.
Does he want to say something else? Is he leaning towards another word? So finally, now it's all come out. And it's about The Rock, too. Isn't it the situation like he said something about The Rock, man? God, that dude is such a good guy, man. The Rock says what The Rock's going to do. Now, I understand, jabroni. You want to call The Rock an N-word. You want to say that The Rock is a nigger. But I am. I'm only half a nigger, jabroni. Because The Rock is mixed. Hawaiian, black. I'm black. How black? How black? That's what The Rock does. You know what? The Rock's going to do this, Hulk Hogan. The Rock's going to take a little racism. He's going to turn it sideways, stick it straight up your candy ass, bring it back out, put it back in. It's going to be like anal sex. See? It's going to flip it up, turn it out, take it out, put it in, back, bow. Theoretically, let's clean it up. Theoretically, not really. Okay. See, my sister, she's the censor. She's back there.
Right? She keeps an eye.
She's like, what?
Yeah. Don't lose your career. Everything's going good.
Exactly.
No sense of pushing it. But it's funny, when I saw you do The Rock, there was something underneath the voice that I don't see anyone else doing. And I wouldn't have noticed it, but it made it really sound like The Rock.
Whoa.
So it was almost like there's two voices. There's one voice up top, but then there's this extra bass underneath that I wouldn't be able to get to if I played with for a million years.
Well, it's like you get the physicality, but it seems like you also work on the breath too. Like you start to breathe like them.
Yeah, I guess you could say I'm a loser. I have nothing else to do in my life but watch other people and absorb their antics, their little ticks and stuff.
It takes a while though to get these things, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was such a wrestling fan when I was a little kid that, I would naturally just watch The Rock and try to do everything he did, to the point where I would try to fight people like The Rock. I was so good at mimicry. It's like, I actually would watch the moves and I would try to do the wrestling moves and it didn't work. One time I got in this fight, right? This dude was like, man, I'm going to knock you out. I was like, man, come on then. Let's go then. Right? I put him in a headlock and I started stomping my foot. And he just hit me really hard. And I was like, oh, snap. Okay. Wrestling's fake. I think I'm going to start watching UFC now, because at least that's valid fighting. So, that's when I stopped watching wrestling, when I got my ass whipped, when I thought I was The Rock and the dude kicked my butt.
It's a weird connection between comedy and wrestling, though. It's so funny, and that's the thing that The Rock brought in originally. He really was hysterical.
Yeah.
He really was funny. But the fact that he took that next level, he's one of the best people to come in and host SNL.
Yeah.
He destroys it.
He's just got that, kind of like that theater presentation.
Right.
Yes.
Kind of where it's like he knows how to be big and he knows when to tone it. He knows when to tone it down, when to talk softly. He just knows. It's just like natural for him. I mean, and it was kind of crazy for me seeing him do impressions of like other people in the WWF.
Right.
Like when it was WWF, like the real. Like forget that WWE stuff. I mean, yes, it's cool, but you know the golden days, like the WWF days, right? So he would like do the Big Show and he would do Triple H. I am the game. But he would act like, it's like, so I'm doing an impression of The Rock doing Triple H right now. I am the game. And I take 5 minutes to say one word. And I sound like I'm straining and have a hemorrhoid. So when I did the game, that's how it would sound. I am the game, and I am that damn good. I will kick your ass. If you take an A and put it at the end of the word, hey, Triple H, you want some water? Give me some water. I want some Aquafina. I had another word.
I always thought it was great too. Is like why The Rock was doing that. The Triple H would be standing like a foot away, just like I'm really
shaking,
upset with this,
shaking. Triple H always reminded me of like Beethoven. You know what I mean? Like Beethoven, the dog. You mean not like the dog, because he was like always shaking and stuff. Like oh man, he hated it. I don't think he liked one impression that The Rock did of him. But he's back to The Rock being it. He's just got it, man. And it's just those people that have it that just take control and they can, carry.
Well, I think that's one of the things we were talking about Obama, and when he first ran, he really was bigger than life. He went for the big speeches. And then once he got elected, he pulled it way back down and he got much smaller and tried not to,
had that like preacher like.
Yeah, he took the church out of it completely.
He was, Barack was doing a Martin Luther King Jr. impression.
Yeah.
No, like real talk. Like he would study Martin Luther King, and then he would go out and he would present his speeches just like he did, and that's where all that fire and that all that emotion came from.
People loved it, But I think Chris Rock did the same type of thing. Like I think Chris Rock really, if you watch him, he just added comedy to that same cadence, of the preachers. I can't believe. I mean, who does that? Who does that? Nobody eats booty. Why would you do that? That's disgusting. It's booty. Shit. Duh. Who wants to eat booty? Oh, Lord, give me a booty number 2. I will tell you this. Number 2. That one actually scared me. That one, it was like Rock just showed up here. That one scared. That was a little scary.
I've hung out with Chris Rock so much. He's such a good, and he's one of my comedic idols, man. He's one of my comedy guys. I still look up to him. Like,
well, we do this thing that we play here about the comedian who changed your life. That comedian that you first saw. Who was it for you?
It was watching Eddie Murphy when I was I think I was 6 years old, and I was watching The Golden Child. And I didn't even know he did stand up at that moment, but I was like, yo, he's making all these crazy noises and it's funny. I make noises. Maybe I can do something with this, right? So it was that. And then as far as like just like stand up, like I've seen Bernie Mac, watching Bernie Mac and the Kings of Comedy, watching Chris Rock and Bring the Pain, like those specials, like Robin Harris and One Night Stand, I think it was. Like, those were really the ones I was like, wow. And then seeing Delirious, and then seeing Raw, like seeing all of this stuff together, and then listening to Bill Cosby's album, Arthur, was it Arthur for my brother who I slept with?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Like that one, like I listened to that. It was just like all of that together, man. I think just crafted something. But I'm country, man. You can hear the southernness come out of me when I'm on stage, when I'm talking sometimes. And like, I think like I would attribute that to like Bernie Mac and Robin Harris and all them, even though like my uncles My uncles remind me of my uncles.
Right. That's why they were so funny. We talk about being yourself.
Yeah.
Robin Harris, to me. Yeah. And it's kind of a forgotten name because just as he was exploding, he passed away.
Yeah.
But I don't think I ever saw him do anything that I didn't just fall out.
Yeah.
Naturally funny, could say things that weren't funny. But they're make them funny. Like, now where's your ass going? Somebody's getting up and they would be walking.
Hey, where you going? Ain't this a bitch? What the hell you think going? Oh no, get a light on. Get a spotlight on. Right here. Get a spotlight on the brother with a hole in the natural. Test tube, babe. Why you always fucking with me? Cops always fucking with me. You know, cop won't fuck with you. You got any coke? Hey, you got any coke in the car? I said, no, motherfuckers, at home next to the gun.
Yeah.
Wow, he said that shit.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's so funny to me when I think about those guys because it's like that unrestricted, like, disrespectfulness, but still likability.
Yeah, it's amazing, man.
Like, I believe sometimes I do that. Like, for instance, I do not like traveling as much as I used to. Why? Because when I'm on Delta or I'm on US Airways, they have these people who check the tickets before you leave. So you get your bag and they check your ticket. Let me check the ticket to see if that's going to match. Let me see if it'll match you. I'm like, listen, I don't want to give you my ticket. I don't want to show you nothing. I ain't got to show you shit. What are you checking my ticket for? Why don't we check your papers and see if you're supposed to be here? You know what I'm saying? Oh, what? We can't check? Oh, that's right, because if we check the papers, then they getting deported. So it's like that disrespectfulness, but still, that's fucked up. But yeah, I feel like Obama. I'm not gonna say that because I'm on the show. Okay, I feel like all of these people who have these jobs are just we don't need you. We don't need you out there telling me that the taxi's coming. What the fuck are you doing? I don't need you to be there. I know the taxi's coming. Why, bitch? Because the light's on. Ooh, I can easily go up there and open the door. I don't need you to hand me something, a little yellow piece of paper that's gonna tell me if I leave something in the car. I'm not gonna leave shit in the car. Know why? Because I've done shit before and I've learned from my lessons. So what your ass need to do is you need to help me do some shit. Why don't you go? Why don't you go, goddamn? Why don't you go de-ice a plane or some shit? Why you fucking with me? Stop fucking with me. I'm good. You know? Don't fuck. Why? You know? I'm just saying, man. You over there fucking with me? You know? That check of the ticket. That check of the ticket. I'm gonna check your papers. Your green papers. Let's check a green card. Let's see if you got it. You get a green card, do you? I bet you your car yellow. Sorry. I don't even know what the hell that means. But it sounded funny. There it is. See, it's that. That's what I said. This is just me like talking. Like, come on, man.
Right.
Fucking with me. I hate the cops. The cops.
He's always looking around.
I'm always looking around, make sure ain't no cops present at the time. Listen, man, always. Now I know most of us New Yorkers, we ain't got to deal with this, but folks, I'm from the South, okay? I used to have to watch my speed on the damn highway. They sitting out there with the guns and stuff. I said, why you messing with somebody? It's Independence Day. Why don't you go have a hamburger or some shit? Why don't you go enjoy a fucking potato salad? You know, why you fucking with me out here with the damn gun to who he's going 75. You know what your ass is doing? You know what your ass is doing? Shit. You're not doing nothing. You know what you need to do? Why don't you go make yourself useful? Why don't you go not kill a black kid? How about that? How about not killing a black kid? Would that be more appropriate for you, officer? Can you do that? Can you not kill a nigga? Sorry. Keep killing them. I'm sorry. They keep killing black people. Damn it. It gets on my nerves.
Can I Be Me? Yes. It premieres Saturday.
Sorry. This
August
is Raw Dog
1st.
Comedy.
Yeah,
this is Raw Dog.
Yeah.
So we saying,
yeah,
we being raw right now. Damn cops. Yes.
10 p.m. Showtime, Jay Pharoah. This is a big, this is really years and years and years.
This is like, yeah. This is just like putting it all together. And it's so crazy now, too, because I'm like, the next one is going to be even more whatever, just because you comfortable.
Right.
You got that first one off like when you with a chick, you know what I'm saying? You get that first one off.
Yeah, as soon as you get that first one.
Get that first one up, pow, I'll be good. I'll be good to go in another 5 minutes, baby. Just give me 5 minutes or an hour, depending on who you are.
How long you think it'll take you to put together the next one?
Well, I got almost halfway. I almost got half the stuff done.
Is that right, man?
Yeah. So I feel like within the next year and a half-ish, I'll have it all done and ready to go and just put it out there. And this, oh man, I talk so much shit on his next one. I can't wait. Like, the bullshit that's happening right now. Like, we all know what's happening in the media, like with folks and shit. I'm not gonna say because I'm trying to be political right now, but just know the next one that comes out, and this one's dope. That next one, shit, I'm pushing so many fucking buttons. Like, I feel like a DJ or some shit, you know. I'm pushing the buttons. I'm messing with it. I got a mixing board of topics I'm gonna touch, and then after that, I'm gonna leave happily and drop the mic.
Yeah. Oh, then you'll be gone. Yeah. That'll be it. I'm done. I did everything I had to do. But see, because you're a student of comedy, like every name that you brought up and everything was always such a big one. You're measuring yourself against. You know, to me, Bring on the Pain was like the most, you know. That was one of the best. That was, if not, one of the most controversial, but one of the best stand-up sets ever, arguably. And ever go back and watch that because they show him walking backstage and looking at his friends and shit, and you know that he's got a look on his face of what the fuck just happened. Like a guy who just either, you know, just hit 4 home runs and is now like, he's going like, did that really just go down that way? I can't believe I just caught it. I can't believe that they reacted the way that they did. Everything hit. I'm the shit. All right, Jay, good to see you, buddy. Thanks so much for stopping in, man.
Thank you for having me.
Can I Be Me this Saturday, August 1st, 10 p.m. on Showtime. Show.com for more information, and at Jay Pharoah on Twitter. We'll see you next time coming through, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
This is Bennington, Raw Dog Comedy Hits, Sirius XM 99.
Oh, yeah. That was good. We should have had Jay Pharoah stick around for the Tito's beverage. He does a perfect impression of Tito Beverage, the man who started Tito. Here's what Jay does. This is his impression. He starts to make vodka for his friends, decides to make a business out of it. Then Jay goes out and gets 18 credit cards, runs them all up. Wow. Moving it around the country. And actually, this is the part of the impression that Jay Pharoah does that kills me. You'll see him in front of these copper pots, stills, and condensers. He does it up on stage. He ends up winning these awards from Wine Enthusiast and the Chairman's Trophy for the world's best vodka tonic, all that stuff. But then what Jay Pharoah does, and this is what makes him one of the greatest impressionists, in my opinion, he just takes a modest paper label and puts it over a simple bottle that is filled with the exceptional handmade vodka inside. And he goes, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tito's vodka. Crowd goes crazy. Everybody's going mad for it. And then he does his best Tito Beverage impression when he goes like this. It's from 100% corn and it's gluten-free. I'm not even trying to do the impression because I'm no Jay Pharoah. But it was phenomenal. Do me a favor, Chris.
Yeah.
Hit my click track.
Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, songs, and more. 40% alcohol by volume and crafted to be savored responsibly.
Just able to take a half-hour break and be at a Jay Pharoah show.
I know.
That was really fun, man.
That was awesome.
It's such an amazing talent to have. And I was telling Chris we were crazy that we didn't videotape just then.
I know.
Because he was physically turning into people. And it's one thing to see it on TV, but to have it a foot and a half away from you.
It's eerie, right? Like
it's freakish. It's X-Men freakish.
Like the voice is only one part of what his impressions are. Yeah. His facial expressions.
And then he was really using you to lock in on.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like your responsibility was much bigger than ours.
Yeah.
When he's doing Denzel and he's yelling at you.
It's like
the Denzel is always my favorite, but his Chris Rock.
That shocked me.
It was unbelievable. Like it was like Chris Rock just suddenly came into the room, and I think of, and I don't want to, there's no sense of comparing, but Joe's impressions are so shit.
Oh, garbage.
I mean, have you ever seen Joe's Denzel?
It's terrible.
I'm Denzel Washington.
See?
What?
That's really bad.
That's not even
That's
close.
really terrible. I remember one time, it was the first time I ever saw Jim Carrey. And I might have been high on just a bit at the time. It was like when they used to do those evening at the improv shows. And that fucking guy did My Three Sons and he did more face than voice.
Yeah.
It scared the shit out of me. Then he did I think it was like a swan with a broken neck. I was like, I'm fucking throwing the TV away. It was haunting me. It was scaring me. Like to physically contort your face to do an impression of another person.
Yeah.
And the obsession that it takes to get that down.
Oh, yeah. That's
Like we all will, do a half of impression, but
Yeah.
we'll never spend the time to make it do good.
right. Or you're like actually wondering what their mouth does while they're talking. It's bizarre.
Yeah, they're putting their tongue in the exact same place. His lips would change no matter what person he was doing. And when I tried to explain that you could hear two voices on his rock, there was something underneath
Yeah.
the voice. Like there was almost a second vocal thing happening. It's very weird.
But isn't that weird the way somebody can lock into something and then suddenly everybody's able to do just their impression? I think that's really weird. Like,
well, once you find, but it's almost like you could do the same thing. Like you get a guy who can do characters and he'll turn 4 lines, 4 wiggles, and you're like, okay, that's Obama. And then you can do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can, like, you ever see the John Lennon Yoko thing where he just takes a couple lines and it's John and Yoko?
yeah.
I can do that now, but I couldn't before he did it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I would never be able to go, these 6 lines, and you'd be able to go, okay, that's Joe. And these 5 things, all right, that's Chris. Like, look at that John Lennon thing. That's basically what the first impressionist does for everyone else.
Right.
Now, after that, people go, okay, so that's what John Lennon looks like. They don't go back and look at John Lennon. Like, when I brought up to Dana Carvin and that, if you go back and watch the actual Bush, he doesn't do that at all. That's what it eventually gets. But people are like, okay, that's Bush.
Right.
Everybody used to do the Nixon, there's only one line that he had. And then what's always interesting is that you find out that those people never said that in the first place. Like Jimmy Cagney never said, you dirty rat. Never.
That was just an impression of that got passed around because that's what everyone does.
Yeah, that's what everyone does. And there's certain guys, like you could go through like the history of comedy with the one impression. Everyone in the world in the 1940s and 50s did Cagney.
Yeah.
Everyone in the 70s and 80s did Nicholson. 90s, Christopher Walken. Probably Arnold Schwarzenegger is in there too.
Right.
Today, suddenly people are trying to do Denzel as if, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you would have asked me before, I would have said, well, there is no Denzel impression to do.
No, I don't think that there was a Denzel before. Because when I saw him do it the first time, I was like, I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that before. I love when somebody has a really unique impression. Like, I love Bill Hader doing Alan Alda. It's like, that's not an impression anyone has been asking for or needs. And yet, it's so great that he has it.
Well, who was the guy who did all the impressions on SNL during the 90s?
Daryl Hammond?
Yeah, Daryl Hammond. He did the Clinton thumb thing, right?
Yeah.
And just that little... Then everybody just goes, because before that, I would have never noticed that he put a thumb up once. You know what I mean?
Tiny little thumb.
Yeah. But if you go back now, it's hard to find Clinton actually putting his thumb up. But we would all think, oh, yeah, Clinton, he's the president with the thumb up, right? I remember him. Yeah. He always had his thumb up, this guy.
His lip.
That's the kind of dumb shit that you tell your kids at a talk. Clinton was the president with his thumb up.
Like this.
So I know that. I don't know who started to do, it might have been Jimmy Fallon doing Seinfeld first, but when he added to Kramer and now everybody adds Kramer,
remember.
It's never like, because like in the 80s, like people would do Seinfeld as almost like a little, like, you ever notice, you know?
Yeah.
But now it's all panicky Seinfeld.
Right.
Every Seinfeld impression is a panicky one. What's this Trevor Noah story?
Trevor Noah has a 1-hour special coming to Comedy Central.
I wonder what maybe that's the way of introducing him. I saw Trevor a lot around up there.
Yeah, in Montreal.
I think he looks tight right now. I think he looks like all the pressure is on him.
He looks pretty tense.
Yeah, I was just like, hey, what's up, buddy? Good to see you again. You know, I didn't want to do the, hey, are you nervous?
Right.
You're taking over for Jon Stewart.
And everyone loves him, so...
I don't think this is going to work.
He was there for 17 years.
17 years of brilliance, Chris. He never had a bad show. The guy you're replacing has never had an off show. You know how Jay Pharoah was saying can I be me? I don't know. I don't know if we met him here.
I know.
I think he was doing impressions or his act or whatever, but there wasn't, or like when I would start to talking to him, he would be revving up.
Yes.
You know, to do his act, but in no, or revving up to do another impression. But I don't know if we actually met the dude at all.
The question is still unanswered. Can he be him?
Yeah, can he? And he's saying, can I? I don't know.
I'm trying.
You're you. You should know best.
Chris, you do any impressions at all?
I do Morgan Freeman from Seven.
Okay, let's take our time with this and set. I just want to point out to people that haven't seen the film.
Right.
It's an incredibly tense film.
Yes.
There is a murderer out there who's creating a string of murders, each based on one of the 7 deadly sins. Hence the title, 7. Now, you have this scary murderer. You also have a scary cop on the edge.
Oh, yeah.
Brad Pitt, his name is. Detective Pitt in the movie. And then his partner is Morgan Freeman, okay? And Morgan Freeman is much more of a steady anchor for the anxiety and rage that Pitt feels. What part of the film are you going to be doing this in?
Oh, it's towards the end of the film.
Okay, when there's a box that gets delivered. I'll just say that the 3 main characters are together.
Yes,
and there is a box that gets delivered. Certainly, at the time that Brad Pitt is holding a gun on the psycho killer, Morgan Freeman understands that this is a bad situation. Now, I'm just going to put, I don't want to spoil anything. We haven't seen Gwyneth Paltrow in some time when this box shows up. So at this point, we don't know how she is, or even if she's still alive, or even if her head is still with her body. We don't know any of this. And Morgan Freeman feels the tension and he worries that Brad Pitt is going to kill the psycho killer. The helicopters can't get close because of the power lines. They can't land because of the power lines. And Morgan Freeman says this.
California. Get away from here, California. John Doe has the upper hand. John Doe's got the upper hand. Stay away now. Don't come in here. California.
And at that point, we find out that Morgan Freeman was raised in England and then schooled at Harvard to have this strange English meets New England accent.
That's what he sounds like in the movie.
He sounds like a South Park character, though.
Don't come in here. California. Stay away now. That's what he sounds like. I don't know what Freeman was doing during that scene.
That was bad. That was bad, and it ruined our show. Now I feel stupid for the setup.
I know you had that really long, beautiful setup.
I know. I felt good about it.
I felt I nailed that.
You didn't know. You didn't nail it. You made it worse. They found a treasure off the coast of Florida. Is there anything still that beats you and your buddies discovering a long lost treasure? I mean, is there anything better than that?
No, it's incredible. And I think that who would even think that you could still do it? It feels like all the treasures have been found.
First of all, there's nowhere close to all the treasure being found. I mean, we've only found shallow treasure.
Right.
Up to all this time, I think the Titanic was one of the first times they found something deep.
Yes.
But most of those treasures are down like 100 yards. So when you think of how much ocean there is and how much bad weather, there's probably billions of dollars of treasure that's like a mile deep, right? Stuff that's been sitting there. Some of those ships that went down that have been just sitting on these spots far on the bottom of the ocean that will be discovered now that we have, better tools to do that with.
And what's the treasure? Gold?
Gold.
Yeah.
Spanish.
Pure gold.
Mostly Spanish.
Spanish. What do they call it?
Doubloons?
Doubloons, but it's galleon or
Galleons.
Yeah. But there was also a thing in this case, and it went down in the, I think, 1700s, was it, Chris?
Yeah.
1700s. They still found a guy alive down there. He was in an air pocket. He was just breathing. There you are. I almost gave up hope.
What do you eat?
I guess sea moss and various
plankton.
Andy wants to congratulate Chris. Go ahead, Andy.
Good.
Well, Chris, you must have like a Criterion Collection edition of Seven, because I distinctly I can't remember the part where Morgan Freeman turns into Terrence and or Phillip.
That's what Gail was going for.
No.
Go ahead, do it again, Chris.
Does he bust out an Uncle Fucker at that point? Or
yeah.
California. Tell people to stay away now. John Doe's got the upper hand.
I'm going to fart on you. I'm going to fart in your direction.
They're Canadian. Morgan Freeman was the man from California.
Yeah, that would work. Yeah.
Terrence and Philip are Canadian?
Yeah, they're Canadian.
Yes.
That's where they have beady eyes and flappy heads.
I know.
Yeah, that's what Canadians look like in the South Park world.
Okay, I know.
You know how their heads aren't connected to their jaws.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I did see a lot of that. That was a lot.
They're constantly farting. It was...
Well,
that's their humor. That's
that's
thing.
Canadian humor. That's how they go. We met all those guys from Canada Laughs. They were just holding mics up to their asses and farting and throwing it to break from there. Because they're like, you can't follow that. That's as good as you get. That's as strong as we're going to get today. Did you see I did a thing for Chris in there when I did The Comedian Who Changed My Life? Because Chris is rebooting that for another channel.
Yes.
But when he brought up Robin Harris, I forgot. I loved that guy. I mean, to me, that was one of the funniest guys. And I don't know. It's not Crooklyn that he's in. He's in one of the Spike Lees where he's just a guy sitting on a drinking 40s.
Do the right thing.
Is it Do the Right Thing?
Yeah, he's with a bunch of dudes.
And he was like, I saw Mike Tyson when he was a kid. He was over there stealing a woman's purse. He was the funniest son of a bitch. And then he was also in the Kid and Play movies. He played the dad. Boy, the head looked like a wishbone. And he just, I don't know why that's as funny as it is. But I remember, I think I was reading an article about him. And there was a woman, she got up, and she was like a heavy-set woman, and she was wearing a silver jacket. And he's like, look at you. You look like a baked potato walking out of here. Just everything that he said used to just slay me. Carrie in Tucson.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, good, man.
Good. Hey, I just want to tell Chris he sounds exactly like Benicio del Toro's character in Usual Suspects, or whatever.
I flip you for real.
What was that guy's name?
He sounds exactly like him.
What was that guy's name in the movie? That's just shit Dan could be doing for us, huh? Dan could be all over that. Dan's too busy doing it.
Benster.
Because you found it?
No, I didn't. It popped into the brain.
Into the brain.
You
popped in.
Directly into the brain.
That's separated from you yourself. He doesn't think of the brain as being him. The brain.
It betrays me so often.
If I only had a brain. I could do an impression of Fenster, or maybe Terrence and Phillip, and say it was Morgan Freeman. Then I drink and take drugs and pass out on my rug. If I only had a brain, a heart, the knife. I should have fucking made you do that in front of Jay Pharoah. So
I would have done it. He would have loved it.
No.
He would have been like, "You're great, dude."
Jay Pharoah, it's me, Morgan Freeman. Hello.
Jay Pharoah, stay away from that.
What made you feel like you could do that impression?
Because I still think it's a good impression. I don't care what you
What
guys say.
first made you?
I was by myself watching Seven. And I was
That's fucking embarrassing that you just started doing dialogue to yourself like you were an actor.
California.
Now, when you said you were by yourself, did that just mean that you were drunk and in a crowd?
It's a way
You
of
guys
being
enjoying
alone.
this movie as much as I am?
No, you wouldn't know that. You wouldn't say you guys because you would think that you were by yourself, right?
Good point.
Yeah, so there would no, by saying you guys, you would take away the original premise that we set up for this. I don't know about you anymore, Chris.
Oh, no.
I'm just not sure. I'm starting to be more and more like Don every day, and I'm not sure
No, you should be positive.
if we made the right move when we took you off the fast track to being an executive.
You did have a career lined up for
Oh,
yourself.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're always looking for guys that are wearing fucking oversized T-shirts and say all city propaganda.
I'll say obey propaganda.
Oh, okay.
You forgot the obey.
So you're like, that's like your 99% thing that you're doing?
Exactly.
You're taking them on?
Yeah.
That really speaks to them. You know your target audience.
Well, they say once you wake up, you'll stay awake for eternity. I figured out where I got that quote from, too.
Where's that?
Humans. The TV show Humans.
Loving humans.
Well, the last episode was not my favorite.
Yeah, because the episode before that was really good. So it was a hard one to follow.
Chris, that doc you got me the other day, are we
Yes.
getting those people to come in?
I am working on it, but they want to come in. I just have to figure out a time. And that's it.
I'll be anywhere.
And day.
I'll be anywhere if I got to go to their house. Because you have no idea how much I love that documentary.
I told them we'll work completely around their schedule.
That's a little much now.
Yeah, I mean, not
I have my
completely.
own schedule.
But you just said
I'm
anywhere.
sleeping at night. Yeah, I mean here, anytime between noon and 3.
Ron, I booked them for 3:20 a.m.
Okay, then I'm out of here. Then you'll fill in my voice later. Tell me again, how did you like making the movie? And when you directed it, did you stand next to the cameraman? Good. Or did you have a little chair that said director on the back? Kevin in South Carolina.
Hey there. Hey, Pepper Hicks. I didn't know Morgan Freeman was at the Hindenburg when it blew up. Did you do radio back then?
No. Right.
Oh, the humanity. It's me, Morgan Friedman.
It's old-timey radio voice.
Oh, the people that are falling from the Hindenburg here in New Jersey. I just want to remind everybody about Pepsi-Cola. It's, oh my God, it's horrible. Although Pepsi-Cola is a wonderful treat that you could have. They don't serve it cold in Canada, so you might complain about it. That was another thing that he kept trying to ask for an RC Cola.
What?
Yeah, love RC Cola.
Because he was in Canada.
Like it better than Coke.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, what? What do you mean you don't have an RC Cola?
What is this shit?
Thought that's all you assholes drank.
Talk French, drink RC.
I don't know about you, Chris.
What,
You're kind of
is
fucked up.
Is the RC Cola thing?
Yeah, and about a lot of other stuff. I saw you talking with a cop. There's a lot of shit that I don't trust with you.
Never that.
I'd fucking pat you down. I bet I'd find at least one wire, maybe 2. One for local, one for stadies. He's working both. He's working the feds. Were you saying that you would never fucking turn state's evidence no matter what happened?
No.
Even if you were looking at 50 years?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't drop a dime. I mean, I would go for, maybe I'd try to go on the run and get caught, but, you know, I'm not
First
going
of all, you going on the run when you've never gotten out of anywhere where you couldn't see your apartment.
I guess I'm going to go to the east end of Long Island.
Yeah.
Anywhere I could take a train. I don't drive.
I go underground to travel. How many cities can I do that in? And not just one line. I have to have it just crisscrossing all over.
Yeah, I need a map.
And I don't want to say this around damn, but the buses must go diagonal. That's what I'm saying. He'll get mad if he knows I've given that away. Dan has... Well, he's going to be in another big TV pitch.
He has another one?
Yeah, well, the same one that takes you into the next
level.
Yeah, next level. And if he wins that again, then we really go crazy.
I know, unstoppable.
Yeah.
Party time.
I'm a freak out.
Yeah.
Like an old fashioned just freak out.
I don't know if there's
Like an old timey freak out.
I don't know if there is an old fashioned freak out, Chris. I don't know if they've ever.
John Doe has an old fashioned freak out.
Hello, I'm John Joe, everybody. Steve, Michigan.
Yeah, I thought Chris sounded more like Katharine Hepburn.
Ouch. Look, it's Morgan Freeman. It's so obvious.
Last night, I ate out Spencer Tracy. They had the longest affair that no one knew about.
Spencer Tracy and Hepburn?
And Hepburn, yeah, because he was a Catholic. So, they couldn't, he would never divorce. I don't know how he worked it out where the Catholics can't divorce, but they can have a side relationship. Because that's also in there, Spencer.
Right.
If you're as good as a Catholic as you say you are.
You got to read the whole thing. It's all there.
Do you ever see any Spencer Tracy movies? They don't play too much anymore.
I don't know if I have.
But he's a guy, every time I looked at him, I always go, how did he become a movie star?
Was it like, you mean he didn't have the presence, or you mean his
Well,
looks?
he didn't have the presence of the people that they had then. He wasn't attractive. He was a little stout guy. He was always kind of wrinkled up. He was more like an actor than he was a movie star. And he was a giant star back then. People were crazy about him.
I feel like I have seen him in something. Like, he's so familiar.
Yeah, there's a ton of movies. He did literally, if you weighed his movie, who's that right there?
I didn't catch him.
Is that
I didn't see the face.
from behind? It looked like the girl from Curb Your Enthusiasm. Cheryl, was it Hines?
Cheryl Hines.
Yeah. You can never tell here. You never know who's going to be walking around the hall here.
I know. Got to keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah. The other day, I saw Elvis Presley.
What?
Yeah.
Are you
I
sure?
don't know. I don't know if it was the original Elvis Presley.
Probably wasn't.
Yeah. His granddaughter dresses up like him now. Since my baby left me. Oh. Imagine having to tell people that when you're traveling. You're going into fucking London. And what do you do for a living? Elvis Presley impersonator. Early stuff, really. Rockabilly more than anything.
Oh, that's difficult. That's a hard one to do.
Oh, it is. I got to stay thin.
Yeah.
My brother does G.I. Joe Elvis. There was a lot. Like Bowie gets the credit for going through all the things, but you had Rockabilly Elvis.
Yeah.
Weird G.I. Elvis.
Yeah.
Hawaiian Elvis.
Great one.
What's a weird one where he just put on Hawaiian shirts for like 6 years. Then comeback Elvis in the leather where he dressed like Jim Morrison. And then Fat Elvis.
Yeah.
Am I missing any Elvises? Is there?
I think those are the main Elvises. Those are the most prominent. I mean, Rockabilly Elvis was...
He was real.
Yeah, he was incredible.
That was the last real Elvis there was. G.I. Elvis was just totally weird. Yeah. Is he here now, or you got a break, or bring him in?
No, we can bring him in. Mike
right.
Eagle is here.
Good. Let's bring in our good buddy, Open Mike Eagle, in the hizzy. Let's bring him in. That's our buddy, Open Mike Eagle, and a little Gilbert O'Sullivan there
A
at the
little
end.
bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Perhaps
It's
some
not
of
a
the,
shot at him, actually. It's a shot, pal.
perhaps one of the saddest and songwriters who's ever lived.
It's true. That song's very sad.
You are wearing something so like a championship necklace around your neck, like if you were the champion of the world.
I feel that way.
It looks very heavy.
Yeah,
I feel that way.
What is this?
Somebody told me it's called a Carnathian. It could be a lie. I have no idea.
Look it up, Chris. Carnathian.
Yeah, look up Big Orange Stone.
Where'd you find it at, though?
Actually, there's a spot in Queens where I buy nice necklaces from, but nobody should buy stuff from there.
Well, you had a problem?
Every time I buy a necklace from there, these big, pretty necklaces, they break while I'm on stage. Every time. It's just the part where I start jumping around and the thing explodes. So I have to collect all the beads and get them restrung.
No, that doesn't look cool, by the way, as you're crawling around on the stage.
No, it's for real. right after the high spot on the snow. Like, no, that costs $35.
So Chris told me you're going out with Chris Gethert. You guys on the road together. How'd you meet him?
Road? No, not road. No, I'm just,
you're not doing road.
His television show.
Oh, his show.
Yeah.
Is that tonight you're recording?
We're recording tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw him up in Montreal. We actually flew up on the plane together. Have you done his show before?
I did his show when it was on public access.
Yeah.
And then he did one of my variety shows out here too.
He is, he just did a show for dogs, a show that the entire audience was dogs. So I say him up there and I go, how did the dog show go? And he's like, nightmare. Dogs wouldn't stay in their seats and they were shitting at it. He goes, I didn't think we would be able to use anything, but I have a really good editor. But I was just cracking up because he gets these ideas. And then the ideas are fucking, like, I don't know whether you've seen his show. His audiences are frightening.
And they're in the show. Like,
yeah, they're the show too.
It's like you take an audience member and put a headset on him, and like that's his like director. You know what I mean? It's a crazy bunch of folks.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's real nutty.
I love the fact too that when he did it as public access, he took it out to every network there was and was turned down. He just kept taking it. And I'm like,
yeah.
Maybe it's never going to get on, Chris. Like, normally when I have ideas that people don't want, I just move on to the next one. Jay's got something he wants to say to you. Jay, go ahead. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Open Mike Eagle, man. Glad to see you on the show again, dude. I can't wait to see you August 8th, man, Saturday at the Shrine in Los Angeles.
Tight.
Bow and Theory Festival. That shit's going to be hot, man.
It's going to be great.
Excellent, man. You guys have a great day. Peace.
All right, here is Eric in Kentucky. Eric.
Hey, y'all. I only knew about Open Mike Eagle from what he's done involved with this show, but I caught you on Hannibal the other night, man, and really dug the sound. It was good to see you.
Thanks, man.
Awesome.
Thanks for checking it out. You saw it?
Yeah, on
man.
Y. That was super good.
First TV thing, dude.
Is that right?
Yeah, man.
And that was his first musical guest as well on the show.
Well, Hannibal is... he's also another guy that's just out doing his own thing. Like, I saw the first show that he did, and I'm like, this doesn't look like a TV show. You know what I mean? I like, people used to be so nervous about doing TV shows, and now people just go, well, throw a bunch of shit out there and see what works.
Well, he was nervous too, but
was he?
He still had to do the things in his style, you know?
Yeah.
Did you see the second one?
No, I haven't.
I thought it was really funny because the second one kind of references what was wrong with the first one.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's really good.
He actually says, like, I got some notes and we made some changes. The first, 3 episodes, they're all, a little bit different. Like, they add different elements because he's clearly, working it out. But the second one's some things didn't work out, so we're going to try some different
That's so
stuff.
great. That's so great. I saw him, stop asking me about Cosby. That was the thing. He's like, I got nothing more to say. That's what I think. But it's so funny because he could have really... rode that Cosby thing.
Oh, yeah.
For a long way. He could have been on every show talking about it. It's like, no, I do something different to that.
It's pretty incredible when you think that was really what got the conversation happening.
And he had been doing that bit for months.
Is that right?
He had been doing that bit for months. He never thought about it. He never thought that it was going to be a thing that was going to touch off anything. Because up until that point, it hadn't. It's just that one reporter or journalist happened to see it and just put that bit up. And then, it set the internet on fire.
Crazy. Yeah. No, Cosby's like Hannibal. Just fucking sitting up in some lair in Philadelphia.
In a sweatshirt.
Overlooking the city. Yeah. Yeah, did you see this New York Magazine thing? Where all the women lined up? That's
crazy, man. That is crazy.
Very few of them kept their shape. Very, very few.
It's that post trauma, you know what I mean? You start packing on the pounds.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
I didn't even think that, it's going to send you the peanut butter cups.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Cosby, just sitting there eating peanut butter cups.
Anything but pudding pops. Everything in the house.
Just screaming when you see one.
It's triggering.
You know what this reminds me of? Yeah, here, give it back. Let me give you something else.
I'll be honest, a lot of things could send me the peanut butter cups, though.
Yeah,
too traumatic.
I saw a Vietnam movie, and I'm still traumatized by Platoon. Well, not so much Platoon, but... You know which one? Apocalypse.
Apocalypse, yeah.
Well, what was your Vietnam movie?
Platoon.
Platoon over all else.
Yeah.
Over Apocalypse, really?
Willem Dafoe.
What about Full Metal Jacket? You guys throwing that away?
I'm not throwing it away.
But it seemed like Platoon is a movie I never need to see again. But I watch Full Metal Jacket and Apocalypse Now a million
I
times.
only watch the first act of Full Metal Jacket, then I turn it off, though.
You don't like the second act?
It's not that I don't like it. It's just the first act is like the best movie ever.
Yeah.
But can I tell you guys something? Start with the second act for a while. Because I've done it. And I'm like, this is a lot better than I gave it credit for. That's where Me So Horny come from.
Yeah.
That's true.
There was never Me So Horny.
There would be no Two Live Crew.
They literally invented.
I remember how excited I was when I was like, I know where that's from.
It's your first reference. Oh, man.
That's, but there are so many Vietnam movies. And none of them are like happy. Like a World War II movie can make you happy.
Right.
You know, every Vietnam movie is bad. It's like, don't like anyone as soon as you start watching it. Like the Platoon thing, Willem Dafoe, forget about it. When they kill Willem Dafoe out there.
Rough, man. So fucked up. Or even if with movies where people get home, they'll end up on drugs or whatever, or their life's fucked
Coming
up.
Home was the first that did that. Coming Home with Bruce, what the fuck's his name? His whole family is actors.
Dern?
Yeah, Bruce Dern. It was like for some reason you're supposed to, in that movie, you like John Voight and you hate Bruce Dern.
Yeah.
But now as the years go by, you're like, oh, poor Bruce Dern as a victim.
Yeah.
But in like 78 or whenever the movie got done, you're like, fuck Bruce Dern. He is a baby killer. You know? What the fuck, man? What the fuck? He comes home and there's a guy in a wheelchair banging his fucking hot wife. Yeah, of course he's going to be weird.
Any of these Iraq movies any good yet? We got any good ones?
You know what? I did like Three Kings, even though I never watched it again.
That's the only one.
Yeah.
You don't like the one that won the Oscar for best?
With the bombs.
Herlocker.
Yeah.
No.
Didn't like it?
No, I didn't really like it. I watched it once. I was like, this is okay, I guess.
See, people don't like the movies about the current war.
Yeah, you need
and
a
it's
little
been
time.
going on, I guess, for like 20 years off and on now, so
Yeah.
you can't really get away from it far enough to
we
enjoy
we
it.
can't get any
as
distance.
cinema.
Here's what we could use. Is we could use a new war with a place that has a nightlife. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Vietnam was good because there's hookers and there's dope and
Yeah.
everything. And then those guys get over there and they're just they're fucking FaceTiming with their family. They're not having,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? They're not having a nice party experience the way Vietnam was.
It's almost asking them to get into trouble. It's like there's nothing that they can do out there.
Well, it's asking them, you can't blow off steam. You
Right.
know what I mean? You can't, like those Vietnam guys, they had some heroin, they had some prostitutes, they're leaving behind babies, you know?
They do weird torture stuff now. Doesn't
Yeah.
make for very
Yeah.
compelling cinema.
Yeah, it's not what you're looking for. And they do some of those Afghanistan things, like where everyone dies except for one guy, and you're like, I don't know if I'm ready for it. It's a little too sad.
I like Zero Dark 30. Does that count as a war film, or is it more like a CIA movie?
I think it counts as a war film because at the end of it, you got the SEALs.
Yeah.
And you got the guy from The Office is one of the SEALs that helped everybody. I mean,
Which one? Which one? I didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't see the one who's a movie star now?
Carell?
Pratt.
Oh.
Yeah, Chris Pratt. That was his first kind of serious role where he had lost. But what happened is he had to play Navy SEAL, so he lost weight. And everyone's like, wait, you're fucking good looking. He's like, oh, thanks. And he said, no, you're good looking like a movie star.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the fat sidekick. And he's like, oh, seriously? And now, Jurassic Park.
Wow. Look at all those abdominal muscles.
Yeah, he's got a lot
Yeah.
of them. And we get to look at stuff instead of talk here. But we got to, now that Jurassic Park is the third biggest grossing movie of all time.
The one that just came out?
Yeah, Jurassic World.
That's insane.
Well, I don't know what's in front of it. Oh, Titanic is in front of it, and Blue People.
Do they
on Another
adjust
Planet.
that stuff for ticket prices? Aren't
No.
tickets like $50 a pop now or
They
something
are a lot
like
of money.
Doesn't that
I know
count?
if I go to a movie now and it doesn't work, I start crying. Like, I fucking wasted all my money. What if to go away this weekend?
I can't.
I'd fucking went to the movies instead. I could be in Maine right now eating lobster. It is like $12-13 in the city to see a movie.
I think it makes it really hard to get people in the seats. Like it's hard to make that commitment.
Well, unless there's explosions, then they'll show
Right.
up. If they've got two comic books fighting each other.
Yeah, like you almost have to know it's either going to be a director that you really love, and then you're like, oh, of course I'll show up because I know that I like them, or it's like, oh, I know it's going to be a summer movie. I know what I'm getting into. I can't really be disappointed.
Well, we've gotten to the point now with ticket prices where I go, well, then I am bringing my food from home. Fuck you. That's too much. You're asking too much now. The last one I went to, and this is true, I actually brought a corn popper and just there quietly. Here's the last thing that I saw in a theater, but it was like a preview audience. It was the Vacation movie, right? Mm-hmm. And I had a guy behind me with popcorn who did this with his bag of popcorn.
What's he looking for?
No, he had to shake it before he put his hand in it. Shake it and put his hand in it.
He just didn't want any top kernels.
Yeah, he didn't want any top kernels ever. Well, eventually he'll want them.
I guess.
After they're at the bottom. After at the bottom first. But seriously, there is a time where I'm like, now I know why people murder. I could have not just stabbed him, but stabbed him one of those 97 times. Like, you're like, why did he stab him so many times? You just don't know what you're doing. It's sort of the way a guy stabs his wife. You know, stab him once.
Right.
He stabs her until there's nothing left.
Like, stabs her for every time he thought about stabbing her before and didn't.
That's how I wanted to stab Popcorn Guy.
Wow.
And I thought that this Vacation movie we should see if Handsome Johnny's around. Because I brought this up yesterday and you guys just stared at me. What? But Handsome Johnny Tubes said that I said the Vacation movie was funny.
Yeah.
I did not expect it to be funny. I went there saying this is going to be terrible, but I got Ed Helms, so I got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was funny.
I think it's really a shock. I think that will really freak people out because I think people are like, that's a movie that can't be touched. Right. It's pretty sacred to a lot of people, I think.
Wait, I think it might even be available some places tonight. I think
like a pre...
yeah, like they open things on like, what's today, Tuesday or Wednesday?
Today's Tuesday.
Did you find him?
I texted him and emailed him. No response.
I don't blame him. Tim in Long Island wants to throw in a Happy Vietnam movie. I guess it's Hamburger Hill. That's one that you got a big kick out of, Tim?
Operation Dumbo Drop.
I never saw Operation Dumbo Drop. I know that they drop and I thought that was Cambodian. Is that Vietnamese?
No, that was Vietnam. I think Disney made that, maybe.
Yeah, they can make everything happy. Disney.
Oh, sure.
So was that based on a true story or something?
Yeah, they said. Why did they need to drop an elephant?
Because the Americans killed an elephant in this village that was important, and they had to replace the elephant, or else they wouldn't let them, I don't know, do stuff there. Right. Or they go to the enemy. They would, turn VC if they didn't bring him a new elephant.
Gotcha.
Starts dark, though.
The death of an elephant. Get this elephant there. It's important to the war.
And that was filmmaking in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Every idea financed.
Well,
what about Good Morning Vietnam?
There were a lot of sad parts in that, though.
Yeah, but there's both.
The little kid made me cry. Well, yeah, when he's just doing radio. It's basically this job. Although I don't know if that was such a great show. Now, there was really an Adrian Cronauer, but he just played hits. And people are like, oh, you must have been so funny in Vietnam. He's like, funny? Why would I be funny? I had fucking Motown songs to play to guys that were homesick. Right. It was easy enough. There is something about some of that music, too, like Motown music, Doors music, that we think of as Vietnam now because it's been used in so many Vietnamese movies.
The Doors especially. It's like this. Yeah. It just seems like,
this is
yeah.
Yeah, but remember Apocalypse Now? He was fucking water skiing to, was it Satisfaction or something? Like, there's like certain tracks. And then they were dancing around the tracks in My Tears and Platoon. And that just broke my heart because you realize how young those dudes were. They just wanted, like everybody else at home was in the 60s. And they're fucking over there. And like you would have been drafted, and you're like, no, I got to leave the 60s.
Can I take my records at least?
I mean, it's the summer of love, and I'm fucking doing sit-ups and getting shot at. Everyone else is taking their pants off for the first time.
The sexual revolution is happening.
And I'm missing it.
Getting shot at.
That's my man. Dear Mom. I've landed in Vietnam. Already started shooting heroin.
What?
It's good. It helps me relax. Although on days that I can't find it, I'm not relaxed at all. I'm what they call strung out. Could you send me some foot powder and heroin? Thank you.
Please put them in separate pads.
Oh, yeah. Don't cut it. As the kids call it, cut it. All right, enough, Smokey. I'll just keep asking for more and more. Smokey was producer, songwriter, band, did it all. Gave away some of the greatest songs of all time.
Absolutely.
Gave away My Girl to the
Yeah.
Temptations. My Girl. You're not you fucking give it to someone else.
He's getting that publishing money though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but wouldn't you rather be singing it?
Well, I guess. Yeah, sure. You can't sing all the songs.
Most recognizable, probably beginning to any song. Boom, boom, boom.
I know.
Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. Now, supposedly, a guy from Bar 9, he said it was his brother. There's a door guy I know at Bar 9 that he said his brother was the guy who wrote that riff, but I don't know if it's true. Because all those
Really?
all those musicians were super fucking well known inside the music community. Those Motown guys.
And he was saying that he's the one who played it on the track.
Not only that, he wrote it. He
Yeah.
wrote that
He,
riff.
he was saying that like they brought in the song, but he
Yeah.
brought that riff in.
See, that's the thing that people, and well, that was the thing with Levon Helm was always bitching with Robbie Robinson. But you only get paid really if you're the guy who did the music and melody. The arrangement
Right.
is different.
Right.
So, like Jim Morrison wrote "Light My Fire," but he didn't write that famous intro.
That was
Ray Manzarek.
Right.
Although they split all the things and says, by the Doors. But, that changes the entire song. You can't even picture that song without that opening. And that's true of a ton of songs like that, Like when most people write a song, a pop song, it just sounds like James Taylor. You know what I mean? Just a guy with a guitar. I can't get any satisfaction. I think I get something here. Then you get in the studio and they keep work on it. But early on, it's surprising. Like if you hear, like Pete Townsend has put out stuff that he did. And it just sounds like a guy with a folk guitar,
Really?
Yeah, his demos are just him, ever since I was a young boy. Played the silver ball. You're just like, yeah, James Taylor does that. James Taylor just stops when most people get started.
Right. That's why I don't understand how bands work, though, because I don't know how you get four people to play different things to agree on anything. Like, how do you get them to agree? Like, if you wrote the song and you wrote all the parts, like, when the bass guy wants to add his flair and you think it sucks, like, what do you do? You know what I mean?
Well, that's why so many break up.
Well, Todd Rundgren told me that the Beatles were the ones that gave out the false truth that bands are a democracy. That, like they act like we all are in this. And it's just not true. There's always one guy who wants to work harder, There's a Q-tip in every single fucking band where he's like,
I get it.
Yeah, I know you're going to come in and out for a half an hour, but I'm here 14 hours a day, And, Paul would fucking play the drums after Ringo left. He just wouldn't say,
okay.
Just Ringo would come back the next day and was like, is that me? And Paul's like, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's
Sounds
you.
like you.
So who's the guy in the Stones? Who's the guy? Is it Keith?
It's Mick Jagger.
He's
Mick
the
Jagger is the business guy. Keith is the guy who comes in and out, and everyone loves Keith and all. But there's songs I'm not even sure he played on during his.
I see.
And I think it's all Mick Taylor. Now, Keith doesn't want to say that and won't say it to this day. But you're not going to be a fucking junkie and then be
you
putting
think-
out Exile on Main Street. It's not going to happen.
But he probably had to drop off for those times.
Yeah, but I don't think it got brought up.
Right.
I think, he's in and out, but I think all that stuff gets fixed by the end of it. Because if you listen to the Mick Taylor era of the Stones, it's my favorite Stones. And before he gets there, it sounds different. And after he leaves, it sounds different. And there's two great musicians on either side of him. But it's only that one fucking slung down type of Stones, the Stones that I love, that I fell in love with. But I think really Bono isn't in charge of U2. They're all in it together.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, he's King Bono.
I don't think he's ever stopped. I think other people go off and do stuff like at their house, but I think Bono is at home with his kids and he's still got those yellow glasses. And shit. We're all going to be sitting down to dinner for a while. And they're like, oh, we're so hungry. This prayer is going to go on for an hour and a half. Here's Tim. Hey, Tim, what's up, buddy?
Hey, guys. Nah, it's not Vietnam, but it's the same era, Air America. And Rolling Stones, Give Me Shelter. Song goes with it.
Air America, did you guys ever see that? They were running something into Cambodia?
Laos, yeah.
Laos. Yeah,
Drugs and heroin, wasn't it?
I would consider it very funny. But that's me. Here's Tom. What's up, buddy? Long time.
Hey, Ronnie, how you doing, guys?
Good, man.
Love the show. Love you, Gail. I didn't think they're very funny either, but as far as like valor and shit, I think the Killing Fields and We Were Soldiers, again, both Mel Gibson, but both fucking movies that weren't coming at you from a propaganda angle like that John Wayne Green Beret bullshit that came out when we were kids, you know?
The Killing Field was Cambodia again, and
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember laughing at that. That was
doesn't sound very funny.
Pretty frightening.
Who was the gal that played the photographer? I think she won an Oscar for it. She was portraying a man in that movie. I can't.
No, you've got that confused with The Year Living Dangerously, which was like the Philippines.
It's been a long day, Ronnie.
Yeah, all right, buddy. Get some rest,
take
but
care,
while
guys.
you're driving. All right. Thanks for saying nice stuff about us. Look what it is, handsome Johnny Tubestein.
The infamous.
Johnny, these guys were not believing me that the Vacation movie was very funny and that we stood out in the lobby afterwards going, seriously, did you expect that to be funny?
And it would think that we'd be messing with you guys, but it's actually true. I enjoyed it so much, mainly because I went in with super low expectations.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised.
Now, Johnny Smart, he uses this as a place for free movie tickets. Whenever I go to screenings and I'm like, well, I know I'm doing an interview, but Johnny isn't.
I might be, potentially. There might be one coming up. I just got to be ready. You never know. God forbid Ed Helms comes in and I hadn't seen the movie.
Who did you see the movie? Who was hanging out with you that night?
We were there with some of the talent people who I glabbed on about with Carolina, who does talent here, does some bookings. So I was with her. So she had me come on. I was her +1.
So that's how you get in. You get into people's +1s.
I get in that. I'm doing some on-air stuff, so I use that as an excuse to let me go into these things.
What
And
channel?
Alt Nation. I do the late night stuff there.
Are you an alternative type guy?
I, live the alternative lifestyle. I try my best.
Is that right?
Let me rephrase. Let me rephrase.
Nope. We've already pulled it.
It's how you find
It's a
out.
drop.
So, Chris, why aren't we on these lists?
Yeah, I want to be on these
Here's
lists.
what happened. I have to book the thing, and then I get to see it the night before when there's screenings forever. I know, I'm not going to say who, but my old producer used to take care of all that.
Okay. Well, then they'll be taken care of even better from now on.
I don't believe you. You
Just believe me.
You make
please.
statements like that.
I got a screener for you within like 20 minutes yesterday, so I'm getting better.
It's confident.
Yeah, but that was something for me to watch on my computer, not to go to a screening room and enjoy a movie experience.
Okay.
I had
wanna
to
do
sit
that.
at my computer. This thing's fucking unbelievable. It's so great.
The best one I liked going with you to go see Planet of the Apes. There were like 6 chairs in that room
Yeah, I
last
know.
year. That was the life. How do we get that room?
Well, the problem was Planet of the Apes was on. That was my biggest problem. But yeah, I like those rooms where you just go in and there's like a couch and stuff. Somebody will come by and massage your feet while you're watching.
Nice.
Liking the movie so far? Say something good about it on the radio. Like, I'm gonna. It's good.
No, do you even get popcorn in there? You said someone had popcorn behind you.
Well, this was a regular movie theater.
Oh, okay, that they-
And a lot of times we watch that with contest pigs that won. Particularly when you go, it's always like Power 97.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
So we go there, and it's the entire theater. They let all these people in, but then they just tape 2 rows of theater critics, right? So you're trying to watch the movie, and then he always says, "What about these seats? What about these seats?" And I'm like, "Oh shit!"
We're gonna jump the rope.
Yeah, because there's no reason to they take 40 seats and say this is for 8 people, and the rest of you are going to be sitting on stairs because we've over given away, and then they're mad at people who really had nothing to do with. And that's the kind of shit that Chris tries to send me to.
Occasionally, sometimes that happens like that.
Or he books me a screening during the show. And he goes, I don't know if you can work this out. I know very well I can't work it out.
It's at 1:30.
I don't know how you're going to work it out.
But that's the only time you're going to be able to see it.
Yeah. But this movie was funny,
It was
right?
great. I loved it a lot. Man, I never got tired with it. By the time they were done with the scene, maybe stretching a little bit too much, they went right to the next thing. So there was no time for me to get tired and bored with the little scenes they were putting together.
He's got,
If a scene lasts longer than 2 minutes, I tune out. So they gotta change it up.
Gail, what was the last theater that you saw, movie, and you saw in the theater and you loved it?
Trainwreck. Trainwreck was, that was the last one.
I worry it gets a little shooty in there for me.
Yes, but
I don't want to get too shooty.
It's not all the theater.
There was on TV the other night. They were saying, "We'll show you what to do in case of a movie theater shooting." Right?
What?
No, and they were showing you how to lay down under the seats,
showing you how.
Yeah, I go. You're not going to have to tell me
How to avoid
fall
a
around on
bullet.
my fucking belly to try to protect my life.
This is like duck and cover for a nuke. It's like, come on.
And it's happened twice in 3 years. You're much more likely to die in a million different ways before a theater shooting.
Right.
But remember after the Batman theater, after that shooting, if someone came into the theater, everybody turned around and looked at him like, what the fuck?
I had that experience. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to see it in the theater. And I had a full-on panic attack while I was watching it. And, the door opened in the back, and I started to get all sweaty and freaked out. And
Why hasn't he sat down yet? What's he doing?
He was just standing there, and I turn around, and I just started to freak out. But it was just the janitor standing there with the broom. But I was like, "What's he got? He's got something in his hand." But he just came in just to watch the movie a little bit and enjoy.
I had a panic attack because I was watching that movie and it stunk. I don't know what it is, but the bigger the movie, the less I enjoy now. I'm never looking forward to the giant movies.
They stacked that one. They put every comedian in that movie. If you hated that movie, they're saying you hate comedy. They put everyone in it.
Everybody was in it for at least a second.
In Trainwreck.
Trainwreck. Yeah.
Now, did you notice this in Vacation? I didn't see people pop for the old Vacation references as much as I
didn't, and I can guarantee you, people coming out of that movie still won't know that it's a remake, even though they've called attention to it at least 4 times in the movie.
How
Do you
close
think because they were just young?
How closely did they follow the plot? So I mean,
No, it's a completely. It's not a reboot.
It's the son. Rusty is. Rusty's
okay.
like, I had a terrible trip when I was a kid, and now I want to make it great
by taking the same trip.
Yeah, by taking the same trip. We're going to do something to get together, right? Now, and so that's the bit. But it follows the same kind of pacing. It has the same, the guys that wrote this had got that pacing down perfectly, which was surprising to me. And then Ed Helms is kind of funnier. He's more believable in that role than Chevy Chase was because that's kind of his thing. He's
more nerdy dad.
He's nerdy with rage underneath it. You know what I mean? Ed, there's something about him and Steve Carell that they could just turn on an angry face, and you're like, this fucking guy could shoot the place
that
up.
Darkness.
Yeah, there's
inside,
a real dark rage underneath there.
And Chevy was good in the bits that he had, but you can tell they kind of just put the camera on him and let him do his thing. Just let Chevy do his shtick so we can get it on the movie.
Yeah.
It's a little.
So yeah, it'll be fun. Ed Helms is, we're going to do that on Mass Friday.
Yes.
And then it'll run throughout the weekend. As well as have any of you guys seen this Netflix show that as a prequel to Wet Hot American Summer? Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it. I'm very excited for it. Do you get a screening to that one?
Yeah, I got
looking for that plus
stuff. Yeah, I got the
That
Netflix
P1
hookup. But also, Chris, say what we're going to be giving out this weekend.
A DVD copy of Wet Hot American Summer, the original from 2001, signed by Janine Garofalo, Michael Showalter, Michael Ian Black, Judah Freelander, David Wayne, and Elizabeth Banks.
That's what I would keep for myself. I'd keep that for myself.
I know.
Even though I no longer have a DVD player.
It's on display, though.
Cut the cord?
No, you know what? I just have the game. So if I ever get a DVD, I just stick it in my fucking Xbox.
It works.
Which is really, I should just call the seasonal game, because I don't play any shooting games. I only play whatever sports in season.
About to be Madden time then.
Yep. Madden time's coming up.
Okay.
Who's going to be on the cover? Have they announced the new cover of Madden?
I believe it was Odell Beckham Jr. was what I heard.
Now, is the jinx still real?
Yes.
It's still real.
So don't pick him up on your draft.
Here's the jinx. Every football player will be hurt. It's a game now that everyone gets hurt. You know, we have our first female coach. They just announced. Did they have a picture of her? Because supposedly she's a real looker. And they brought up what exactly is she going to be doing for the team, Chris?
She's an assistant to coach, is what they're
assistant to coach. What are you, Italian? She's assistant to coach.
To the coach.
Hey, assistant to coach.
The headline's so deceptive, though. It's like first female coach at Arizona Cardinals. Like, wow, they got a head coach for the Cardinals.
It seems like
it's like AAA something, D3 assistant coach.
So there she is playing at her some kind of women's league.
She looks pretty football-y.
Yeah, she does.
Looks like she can coach.
She said she says the most exciting thing is seeing 50 cocks in the locker room at one time.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Looking forward to that.
That's the thrill of it all.
Did you see her name was Jen Welter?
Yeah.
So, I saw that fast. I was like, Jen Selter?
Wouldn't that be
Coach of a
amazing? What's the latest Jen Selter, Chris? I never get to see it until you put one up.
I saw some stuff with her sister last week.
No, did they show the face?
No,
Or
they're not showing the face.
That was last month on this show.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yes.
This is the latest Jen Selter.
Well, you know what?
You know what? She looks nice.
It's artsy.
Yeah. Smart.
Very
looking.
artsy.
You know, I never noticed this, but she has a very curvaceous ass. No, hear me out. Like, if you look down, like lower than her back, Chris.
Okay.
Now, notice the roundness to her ass.
Oh, wow.
See that?
I mean, that thing's fucking round as shit.
But, that's disgusting. Now, you got a big retweet yesterday.
I did. I got a retweet from the twerk queen of Chicago, Lonnie Pop, who very much appreciated that I took her side in the twerk champ.
And Chris, that's not her mom. That's her mom, not her sister.
That's the mom, yeah. They're about to make out.
There was a twerk fight or something? What happened?
Well, Chris started a twerk fight.
We had 2 twerk videos. He said, "Oh, here's the world's greatest twerker."
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, I actually."
How did you get to be a Lonnie Pop fan? How did that work for
my
you?
friend Cal from Chicago, we were dancing once. I was twerking. I was trying to twerk. And he was just like, "Oh, girl, look, think she's Lonnie Pop." And I was like, "I don't know who that is." And he was so freaked out. Like, he's from Chicago.
Right.
And he's like, "You don't know Lonnie Pop." Like, no, she's not really in my...
Yeah.
But then once I became... And now I'm a huge Lonnie Pop fan. She's incredible.
She just makes videos?
No.
Yeah, she's like a full-time twerker. You know, that's her business.
Wow.
That's like
I'm gonna
her
read
thing.
between the
It's like
lines.
W-2s.
So I'm going to guess this.
Twerker.
Your man doesn't dance, so he lets you go out gay dancing with
Oh,
your
yes.
friends.
I
So that's
dance
the
with my
whole
gay
point?
friends, yeah.
See, I picked that up when she started doing when you did the girl. Because I don't know a man that would ever say, "Girl, you don't know." Like, right away, I go, "Okay, you have gay friends. How cool!" But so, like, he's very cool. Like, "Oh yeah, go out with your
Yeah,
gay
that's-
friends and dance."
Exactly, yes.
There's no jealousy in that, no.
No,
Relief.
none whatsoever. Yeah, it
Then he
probably
doesn't have
is.
to go out and
He
dance.
feels great about it.
He feels good that they're gay, I'm sure.
Yes.
That's comforting.
Who doesn't feel good?
But he's getting outdanced.
Yeah.
What's that, Chris?
We need to break one more time for the end of the show.
Pennington. Open Mike Eagle in studio with us.
Yup. It's so nice and cool in here.
It is. We keep
Wonderful.
it freezing cold.
No, it's good for me, man, because I parked over there by where they're taping Gethard.
Yeah.
Walked. It's a terrible decision. Absolutely awful.
Yeah.
And then when I was walking, I was hungry, and I didn't want to pass out on you guys' radio show. So I'll buy some like little hand food or something in one of these trucks. I bought an entire fucking pizza. It's like walking and sweating and eating in my shirt that I'm going to wear on television later. It's a series of terrible decisions.
Yeah, he's doing Chris Gethard show. Now you can watch the actual taping tonight. That's how Chris has it set up. And where's that at?
Go to fusion.net. There's a countdown. It's gonna the live feed is gonna happen at 8:00. So
I'm
go to
gonna watch
fusion.net
that. Nice.
to watch the live feed of the Chris Gethard show with Mike Eagle.
These are like our two buddies. Chris was actually thinking about stopping over today,
yeah.
but he has things to do.
A television show to make.
Yes. Who's on Pad Data there? Who's running Pad Data today?
I am.
How do you spell Mike Eagle?
Oh, Joe.
Oh, I spelled it.
What did you how did you spell it?
EAGLE.
What? No. How do you spell Mike?
Mike, M-I-C.
Do you think he's a microphone?
No,
Is that
I
what
don't
you're
think
saying?
you're a microphone. I think you're very talented, Brad.
Yeah, switch it. Switch it.
I'm gonna ambush you with battle raps one day, Joe.
Your Pad Data always blows, Joe. You're an adorable kid, but you just write asinine stuff on there all the time.
I was loving his interviewing the other day, the red carpet stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You sent Kokomo out? Where'd he go?
Yeah. Who were the guys that you got to talk to?
I got to talk to several people.
You can't remember who you talked to.
I got audio from Colin Jost. I talked to Graham Phillips, the star of the movie Staten Island Summer. John DeCudo.
What about Montreal, too? You were doing in Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal. I got to talk to TJ Miller, Thomas Middleditch, Patton Oswalt, to name a few.
I got a new bit if you and Dan want to do it, too. They're supposedly going to put in an open, just a water park down in Lower Manhattan. And it'll be just a temporary water park. And you get to slide down just acres and acres and acres of a water slide.
Well, if there's two things I love in this world, which you guys will learn about me, is that I love water and parks. So I'm in. I don't know about Dan, though.
Now, there was also a TV show that approached me about doing something, and I also thought it might be good for you and Dan.
We'll do it.
I don't know exactly how it all works out or what they'll be expecting, but remind me about that after the show today.
Okay.
Because I like to just hand you guys stuff that I would never do. Because you're enthusiastic.
They're young. They're hungry.
I'm enthusiastic as fuck.
Yeah. And I want you to do another thing, is walk through the heat and eat hot pizza.
Yes.
I heard about this stunt the kids are doing these days.
Everybody's doing it.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's called street sweating.
Yeah.
Hashtag street sweating.
Tom Papa coming up in just a couple of moments. This is from Montreal. Who's all on his show?
Tom Segura.
My man. Love Tom Segura.
Right, Rachel Feinstein.
Love Rachel.
Nate Bargatze.
Okay, it's starting to fall off, but no, Nate is unbelievable. I took a nice elevator ride with him.
Michael Che.
Love Michael Che. Michael Che in Montreal was doing the hood, sunglasses, keeping it low while I was walking. But he's one of my favorite people in the world. We just had Jay Pharoah here earlier today. And I now have to figure out how to do facial impressions before I ever try the voice.
I know.
He fucking scared me when he turned into Chris Rock.
It was
Scary
transformed. It was eerie.
to be sitting this close when he did Chris Rock.
Jeez. You got to see it. Is it on the internet somewhere yet? I can look at it and be scared.
No, Chris doesn't like to videotape.
Okay.
How come, Chris? Do you like to?
No, because
the Pad Data fucked up.
No, I don't like either of those things.
Okay.
No.
You didn't have one of your fun days today.
Oh, I had multiple screw ups today.
No, you know why? Because
What is
you're
it?
in underwater from the other stuff.
There's a lot of stuff coming.
You've been trying to help him organize, and he refuses.
No, we're working on it. We're gonna.
It's not working.
Day by day, we're gonna.
That's
get
the
it
same thing Molly
organized.
used to say. She's
Yeah,
trying to
Molly
help
believed.
Yeah.
She wants to come in on Friday, by the way.
Okay.
She sent me her work from NPR. And I had to write back, really good, Molly. So proud of my girl. All right, so Tom Papa coming up at 3:00. Anything else we need to plug before we let Mike out of here? And by the way, tonight you can see him do 3 shows.
3 songs.
Three songs in the recording, and then only one of them will watch TV, so I'm going to compare both.
There you go.
That's on fusion.net. Fusion.net in 5 hours and 10 minutes.
I'm looking forward to a note that says, really good job, Mike.
Yeah, I will. I'll say that. All you gotta do is send me, here's the show I did. So proud of you. You're doing great.
Just copy and paste at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Anything else to plug, Chris?
And we're giving out a copy of Wet Hot American Summer on DVD, signed by David Wayne, Michael Showalter, Michael Ian Black, Janine Garofalo, Elizabeth Banks, Ken Marino, Judah Freelander.
I love all those people.
I want that.
Yeah, that's a collectible, particularly if that plane ever goes down.
I hope I win.
All the Unmasked are booked for this week, so you don't get any tickets, folks. You've already
Sorry.
lost your chance.
Didn't we warn you?
Yeah.
We
No plus
reminded
one?
you.
No.
No.
No plus one.
Not going to happen.
All right, so that's it for us. Handsome Johnny, thanks for stopping by.
Hey,
buddy.
thanks for having me.
And I'm glad to hear that you're on. Tell people when your show's
Yeah,
on.
I'm on Alt Nation, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Every night.
I'm going to be listening every night now. Open mic you can see on this latest thing. Any gigs you got coming up?
Yeah, just 8/8 in LA at 8/8, August 8th at the Shrine for the Low End Theory Fest, like your caller so generously pointed out. And that's the only thing I can think of right now.
And join Gail on the Bennington Show this time tomorrow. That's it. We'll see you all again in 1974.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!